Welcome to the European eTour. And yes, I said eTour because usually when you think about the European Tour, you think this. Putting greens, fairway, bunkers. But this time we're doing things a little bit differently. The action is going to go down right here in front of a computer where 8 of the best virtual golfers are going to be battling it out to be named the very first European eTour champion. Welcome to day 2 of the European eTour, our first ever eTour coming to you right here from Made in Denmark. 8 of the best World Golf Tour players have descended here on Himmerland Golf Course and they are battling it out. Yesterday we saw our quarterfinals and today we'll be able to crown our first champion who gets to take home that $5,000 check. My name is Sam, I'm also known as Tech Girl, and I'm your gaming friend, if you like. I'm going to keep you company throughout today. And joining me is a golf expert, Mark Crossfield. Your first time getting to see golf as an eSports.
Amazing. Yeah, I really enjoyed yesterday. I didn't know what to expect going in, and it was competition. It was well fought. There were surprises. It was a really good first day. I'm looking forward to today.
Have you had a chance now, because I saw you earlier today hanging around behind the players while they were playing. You're starting to get interested in jumping onto World Golf Tour?
Yeah, absolutely. I would quite like to have a little go, definitely. I think I'll be having a go before the day's out.
Do you have any favourites for this particular competition now, knowing that we have our 4 semi-finalists? Any players that you think we should watch?
Oh, well, I want to see, well, F. Magnets is still probably my favourite, but I just want to see a good competition today. I'd like to see someone get to the 18th. We didn't get to the 18th yesterday, did we? It was 4 and 3s and 3 and 2s. It'd be fun to see it go all the way. Would be fun today. Fair
enough. Let's find out. We'll find out more about the players and how the competition is going to work in a bit. But first, let's show you the action that you get to see on the show today. Of course, our first 2 semi-finals taking place. At the end of those, we will have 2 competitors ready to go in our grand finals where we get to crown our champion. It's not the only thing, though, that we have for you. So here's the thing. We've got virtual golfers on the stage playing, but we thought we'd get some real pros competing here in Made in Denmark to come get behind the computers to show that it's not as easy as they think. You're not just clicking the mouse.
Absolutely.
They got a chance to battle it out, and we'll be showing you exactly how that went a little bit later on in the show.
That looks fun. I reckon we're going to see a lot of their competitive side coming through.
And I think it'll show that there is quite a lot of skill involved in the game. Also, what we did is we took our virtual golfers, most of whom claim that they do play golf regularly, and we put them on a putting green to see how they played and how that went. Most of them do say that they like to play golf during their downtime when they're not training for this competition. So be interested to see how that plays out as well.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see that. And more of them play golf than don't in our finalists, which is quite an interesting stat as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So that is our show. Are you ready for the action? The European eTour is, of course, played on World Golf Tour, which is a game that you can play on your PC or your mobile phone. And how our particular tournament has been set out is yesterday we saw our quarterfinals. We've now moved into our semis. Every match is match play over 18 holes, much like regular golf, and it is a knockout format. So if you lose your game, you are out of the competition, which is quite an interesting one because it obviously makes the pressure really hard when you're coming into the last few holes and you know that the game is on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. It will reflect what happens out on the real course when it comes down to the wire. Any mistakes, hopefully, or would be punished with this level of play. Yeah, like I say, I'm really keen. I want something to go down 18 today because we haven't seen it get that far and the pressure really mount up that much yet. So let's get one down 18 today.
You mentioned the courses, and we have 3 select competition courses for you. Now, in World Golf Tour, there's a stack of courses that you can play, very realistic. But the 3 that we've chosen are, of course, St. Andrews, Wolf Creek, and Chambers Bay. The 8 players that are here have been seeded, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but they then veto the map. So how it works is, as you start, the highest seeded player vetoes the course that he wants removed, and then the lowest seeded player is ultimately able to choose the course that we're going to play on. So that is how our course selection works, and that happens at the start of each game. So let's get into that seeding now and explain how this works. If you've played World Golf Tour before, you know that you get certain scores. In this case, we've taken the average score over the top 200 games of each player that has been invited here, and we've been able to seed them accordingly. We have 7 different nations represented, 2 Americans playing, and there you can see our seeding. And of course, our top seed, who's still in the competition, you mentioned him earlier, very impressive score.
Yeah, amazing score average. But like he said at the start of the week, or yesterday, he said that he's played a lot of games. Obviously, he's played far more rounds than most of the other people left in the competition now, I think. That score just keeps coming down the more you play. So impressive stats.
Let's take a look now at our bracket. We've been talking about this quite a bit. Our quarterfinals happening yesterday. This is what the bracket now looks like. So I want to walk you through the games that we saw. Of course, the first one was when our top seed faced off against the home crowd favorite, Jacob Leslie, but he was the bottom seed. Convincing win from F Magnets.
It was, but it was a slow start for F Magnets, wasn't it? Jacob had a little few punches in early, but then his class kind of just shone through and off he went. It was an impressive victory, definitely, in the end.
On the other quarterfinal, though, of course, our second seed getting knocked out of the competition by the dark horse Birchie from German. So it'll be impressive to see him play today.
Can't wait to see what he brings today. He played well yesterday. It'll be really good if we see similar pushing from him today. It'll be great. Yeah, he's definitely a dark horse. No one really knows which way that's going to go.
And then, of course, French Connect and Walk of Life, our last 2 semi-finalists. Both strong performances yesterday.
Absolutely.
Looking comfortable as well. And I think today we'll see a true test of their skill when they go up against the Birchies and F Magnets.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great day. There's going to be a lot of good matches, and we got some great players. Yeah, let's have some close games.
Close games. We've chatted about the players. We chatted about the games that you saw yesterday. But I think now it's time to get to know them a little bit better. These are your top 8 World Golf Tour players.
I think I'll have a decent chance.
I'm going to win this tournament because it's an awfully long way to come to go away with nothing.
I'm going to win this tournament because I'm the most confident person here.
Why am I going to win? Because I'm just going to have 2 good days of golfing.
I'm the dark horse. I have no pressure on me.
I'm going to win this tournament maybe because I'll be a good putter on that day.
I'm going to win the tournament because I'm going to ding more than everybody else.
I would say my strength is the putt. I believe it's the key for a good game.
You get to see our 8 quarterfinalists there, but yesterday we cut that field in half, and we now have 4 players left. Standing with me now, Birchie. We mentioned our dark horse. How did it feel yesterday being able to knock Sebeku out of the competition?
Well, it was unexpected, but yeah, I'm obviously more than happy to beat him. He's a great player, and yeah, I didn't expect to win.
You played well, though, didn't you? You must think you played pretty good.
Yeah, I think I birdied the first 9 holes, which isn't so easy to do on Chambers Bay, even in WGT, but yeah, it worked out well.
How do you feel? I mean, you knew now that you were coming in, you're going to face off. Yesterday, you were aware you were facing off against the top seed. How much prep did you do last night? Or did you go out and enjoy Denmark a little bit?
Yeah, we went out to some bars and had some drinks, so there wasn't any time to prepare. But any of the 3 courses I'm more than familiar with, so I think I'll be fine.
Out of the 3 courses, which would be the easiest to the hardest, would you rate?
Score-wise, the easiest is probably Wolf Creek.
Okay.
In the middle is St. Andrews, and by far the most challenging is Chambers Bay, yes.
Okay, interesting.
And what, I mean, before we get into this question, I want to ask why Chambers Bay? Why would you say it's the most challenging out of the 3?
It's by far the longest for one. Some elevation changes. Yeah, the greens can be tricky, but...
we saw a few shots yesterday where they looked good coming in, literally missed like a few foot left and then hits big slopes and off they rolled on Chambers, so definitely... I
mean, the main point of difficulty is the length of the course, especially in contrast to Wolf Creek and St. Andrews.
Absolutely.
You have a lot of wedge approaches on those 2 and almost none at all on Chambers Bay.
I just wanted to ask you now, for someone watching at home who maybe has never played World Golf Tour, or maybe they just play it in their spare time, how much work goes into being in a competition like this and to play at your level?
Not that much if you play for long enough. I mean, I started playing like 5 years ago, but I never excessively played during one day or 1 week. So if you put in maybe 7 to 10 hours a week, you know, a nice round of golf in the afternoon or in the evening, then you're fine.
Birchie's underplaying that, though, isn't he? Because that's a good amount of time. He's saying
That's
that
a
as
lot
if
of
that's
time.
not amount. That's a lot of time to dedicate. If you put that much time to learning a language, you'd be pretty fluent. And if you did it to
that's true. That's
learning a piano or something, that's
it's
a
not
good
going to be done
commitment.
with 1 hour a week or so. That's
you're
true,
going to be not at this standard, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question as a gamer, obviously? So, and from South Africa, where I suffer from ping a lot, and it's very hard for me to play my European counterparts. So now, this is a truly international game. You get to jam against guys and say, for example, Walk of Life in Canada. How does the ping affect a game in World Golf Tour?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think at all. But I can't really answer it. I'm not a gamer myself, so
It's not a game.
Not
It just
familiar
plays
with
World
the
Golf Tour,
technical aspect of the whole thing. Yeah.
But ping doesn't really affect it.
I don't
share
think
that
so.
with you now.
I never experienced any difficulties playing someone from Canada, say, than from Germany or Belgium or whatever. Yeah.
That's why it's fun for gamers, of course, because that means it's truly international. I'm not stuck only playing South Africans in my region.
Yeah,
so that's,
absolutely. You can see that from the leaderboard. I mean, the leaderboard, they're coming from all around the world, which is great.
Yeah, especially this tournament this week. It's really nice to get a lot of people from get to know a lot of people from all over the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Final question for you: are you going to beat Walk of Life later? Do you think you've got this in the bag?
I think the chances are as good as they were yesterday. I would give myself maybe a 1 in 4 chance to beat him. On an average day, he's clearly the superior player, but maybe in this setting, I have a chance.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think you've got a chance, definitely.
Thank you so much, Birchie.
Thank you.
Good luck for your competition.
Thanks.
We're going to say
Thank you.
goodbye to Birchie now and introduce Giannis, one of our other competitors, of course, knocked out in the quarterfinals. But I think he's definitely got. You can come a little bit closer.
On in,
Promise it on pass. You have been someone that's just been so excited to be here, so positive, and yet you have a very important job waiting for you back in Greece.
All jobs are important.
He's just going to play that down completely.
I have a job, but I was feeling comfortable because the whole event is going the right ways. Let's say I have a great link with the guys. We haven't so much so competitive.
It's a good
style.
vibe amongst you, isn't it?
It's nice.
You're enjoying the
it's
trip.
nice to win. It's nice to win, but it's not like we hate each other.
No, you can feel that. It's good.
Yesterday night we went out, have a few beers, shot some pool.
Lovely,
yeah. It was a great event.
So it's quite interesting, all the players here. I mean, you've all got quite serious day jobs. I teased to it earlier. In your case, you're a lawyer. I mean, lots of the other guys have chatted to me. So is this is not something that in the typical gaming world is going to take up hours and hours of your day?
I wouldn't have called it practically game. WGT, I would have called it more like sport. More like sport, because it has all the elements of sport. You have to be concentrated. You have to practice a lot. You have to find your rhythm. You don't get, you don't lose your head. I don't want to speak about someone I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, but we saw that yesterday. We saw someone get a little emotional.
Someone like me, I lost my head and I lost my back. Yeah, exactly that. You have to be calm. You have to play your game, and wish for the best.
Yeah, and that's great, isn't it? It does reflect, like you say.
I think many elements of the sport.
The audience, like myself, before coming into this, who don't know this world that much, would struggle sometimes to understand that because it's got to be the physical doing of it. But watching you play and compete, I could totally see you had to be controlling your emotions, like you say, your timing. You have to react to your competitors. It's the same as what you see out on the course. It's impressive.
Yeah. It's not like playing Pac-Man or anything.
No.
It's a thing that you have.
There's different levels of skill, isn't there?
Dedication. Let's say one dedication is in the middle. You have to play at for being at a great level. So it's being like a sport more than a game.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Final question for you. Obviously, unfortunately, you were knocked out of the competition yesterday, but that means that you get to predict.
I'm going to be the next year, though.
You're going to be here next year, and you're going to win it for
course.
sure. But now the question is, who do you think is going to take this first title?
Oh, he's out.
I don't know. At this stage, there are no. I have no answer to give because it all depends for the moment, the moment of time. He who has cold blood and plays at his best, 90% of his best, because the setting all new to us, will win this competition.
There we go. Predictions from Giannis coming in, and it's all going to come down to who can keep a cool head. Simon, of course, is now in our green room, so let's find out how the players are holding up.
Yes, I'm sat here with the first semi-finalists, F Magnets. You came into this tournament as the top seed. Are you starting to feel the pressure now?
Well, it's around about afternoon nap time for me, so I'm feeling a bit sleepy. But certainly now that I'm Mark's favourite, I'm definitely feeling the pressure, thanks to him.
And French Connection, before the tournament, you said that you were the most confident player out of all here. Are you still feeling confident?
Yes, absolutely. A little nervous, but absolutely confident.
Even though you're going up against the top seed of the tournament?
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. I know. On any given day, if you're a good enough player in this game, you can beat anybody.
And how much have you guys actually played each other?
We've never gone heads up before, so it'll be fun.
It will, definitely. And F Magnus, I know you have a long flight home back to Brazil, where you live today. What's the top thing that will make that trip more enjoyable? Winning.
I know. No, not winning. Are you gonna put me in first class? Is that?
Well, if you win the tournament,
winning would be nice as well. Okay, sure.
Perfect. And French Connection. Later on, we're gonna have Thomas Bjorn present the trophy. Does that make you want to win even more?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be very exciting.
Well, best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Esports players and those egos, eh? Wanting to get into first class. Yeah. Just kidding. Let's get into it now. Our first semi-final. We will now know who our first finalist is after this game. It gets serious now. $5,000 on the line. Let's meet our first player. This is F Magnets.
I'm Chris Aitken, my name's F Magnets in the game, from the UK, and I'm 42. I've played WGT for 6 years now. Usually play the game for about 2 to 4 hours a day. Strengths are all the categories of the game, really. I'm going to win this tournament because it's an awfully long way to come to go away with nothing.
He is our top seed. Let's take a look at his stats now. And this is what's really impressive, is how many rounds of this game he's actually had a chance to play. Far superior in terms of round numbers to any of the other competitors, which gives him that upper hand of experience.
Absolutely. That he's going to pull on that as much as possible, I'm sure. Yeah, and he's got, his scoring average ridiculously low, and obviously because of those rounds played. He's an all-round solid player. Yeah, he's
and
still
also
my
a really
favourite.
nice guy. I gave him a bit of a hard time about his ego early on, but he actually hasn't. He's been fantastic. You see him chatting with everyone.
He's off the scale.
Mark's not a fan.
Honestly,
Okay.
I sat with him on the sofa over there earlier. I couldn't believe it. Ego was great. No, it's not.
All the players have been fantastic, and I think we're all excited to be here at the first eTour. Now, F Magnets, of course, wanting to make it through to the finals, but he has to face off against French Connect to do so. Let's meet our US competitor.
My name is Jonathan French. I am 33 years old, and I'm from Southborough, Massachusetts. I've been playing WGT since 2010. I play the game about 10 hours a week. Some of my strengths in the game is my confidence and my putting. I'm going to win this tournament because I'm the most confident person here.
That is French Connect. Of course, he had to knock out his countryman Golf X3 yesterday in order to make it. Let's take a look at his stats now. Impressive play from him yesterday. We saw him really perform, and I think despite the fact that maybe he hasn't had as many rounds, he is one of the players that's been playing this game the longest in our field.
He's the longest standing member out of the finalists, I think I was told earlier, which is impressive. I like his confidence. I like that confidence. He's going to need that today.
For sure, and I think that what's also impressive is how much time he puts, and all the players put into competing. So it is a good hour, 2 hours a night, playing rounds, getting used to the courses and training. So it isn't as easy as just switching on your computer and clicking a mouse.
I think we could quite easily, or I could quite easily prove that if you put me up there against them.
Fair enough. Let's move into the veto now. Like we explained earlier, the top seed will ban the first course, so that means that F Magnets will make his call. I'm starting to predict that we'll probably see F Magnets knock out St. Andrews straight away. What do you think?
Well, there was talk about it earlier on the sofa, so I'm not sure how this is going to go, to be honest. It'll be interesting. I think we might see St. Andrews today. I'd like to see it. There you go. Wolf Creek's gone.
Ooh, so
we're going to St. Andrews.
We're going to St. We have to. So French Connect now gets to make the call.
Yeah,
and there it is. They're taking us to St. Andrews. Mark asked for it. They were nice there. But you did mention earlier this is possibly the easiest course to play.
That's what they told me. I said, because it was getting deselected all the time yesterday, I said, why is that? So they said it was a little bit more of a leveler because there's a few more flat spots on the greens, lots of wedge play. As Birchie said earlier, Chambers Bay's the longest, so it requires that kind of higher standard of play. But yeah, let's see how St. Andrews treats them both.
Have you ever played at St. Andrews in real life?
I've walked it. I've not played it. I might want to play it, but I've walked it. You're going to get a lot of blind tee shots, so the tee shots you can't really see where you're going. Lots of undulating fairways and greens, but you're not hitting up slopes or down slopes like you would be at Wolf Creek. So it's flat to play on to, but bumpy on the ground.
I think it's time that we get into this, right? It's time to kick-start the eTour first semi-final. Seeing both our players there now on the screen. F Magnets on your left, French Connect on your right, getting ready to start this out. They are, of course, going to be playing on St. Andrews, like you said, so this will be an interesting one.
Absolutely.
You can see there when we put those stats up against each other, so even though French Connect's been playing the game a little bit longer, 2 years longer, the rounds played, the difference there is
F Magnets has notched up some hours, isn't he? Absolutely. He is... played some rounds. I'm glad I've put a bit of pressure on him as well by marking him as my favourite. I'm
He says no pressure there. I don't choose favourites. I like to just wait and see.
But I do think, yeah, I like that.
Commentators curse. You know what happens though when commentators make calls like this? It doesn't
I don't
end
think
well.
French Connect is nervous at all up there. I think he's enjoying his trip. He's enjoying his play. I reckon he's ready for this game.
Okay, we've had a little bit of fun, but it's time to get serious. Let's jump into it. This is our first semi-final. There you can see our players set up on our stage here at Made in Denmark. We're in the tented area, so even with the wind and the rain outside, it doesn't matter because these guys get to focus and concentrate. The fans slowly coming in as well. We've got a lot of golf spectators who are coming to see what this esports stuff is all about.
It's so different for the golfing audience. I think it's a great crossover to blend these two kind of connected games and audiences because it's so different, I think, for the golf fans to see.
Here we go. We're about to tee off as they start it up. So you can see there on your left-hand side that F Magnets takes the first shot. That little orange box around his face indicates that. It will move to French Connect when it's his turn. The other way to see that, of course, is in the top left-hand corner. You'll be able to see their stats and who's playing.
So it highlights at the moment F Magnets, then it's going to flick over to French Connect. His tee shot, so as long as you don't hit it in the burn here, you just got to find fairway, then they'll be pitching onto the green. 14 to 16 mile an hour downwind this hole, so it's only 375, not the longest hole in the world, and that wind helping. There's only going to be short approaches in here. Good tee shot from French Connect. Just slightly knocking it past F Magnets, but still no real advantage there, both in the fairway. It's going to be about who can stick this wedge close enough now. Only 47 yards in for F Magnets. Again, still obviously 14 mile an hour downwind, slightly off the right. He's hitting his wedge.
So you did mention earlier that you'd been chatting to the players and they said that this was the easiest course out of the three. When they say something like that, I mean, what does that mean in terms of having to win this year? It's going to be just make no mistakes, play
Absolutely,
a good game.
that's what they said. That's a good shot. Places like Wolf Creek and Chambers, there were mistakes going to be made. So basically, if you went down, there's a chance of getting back. If you go down here, it's going to be hard to claw it back.
It's going to be hard to claw it back. But it could also mean that you're going to see a far more equal game in the sense that they're going to get to we're going to get to the 18th hole, which I know is what you want. And of course, if we get there, we go into sudden death if no one's up.
And I guess they play the first in the sudden death like they would at Wolf Creek. They go up and play the first.
That's exactly how it goes down. That's kind of always an exciting one to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe we need that for a final.
Yeah, that's the dream in the final. So 2 great approach plays there. I think there are going to be maybe 2 gimmies there, 2 good shots. Not much in those, so 3.4 feet conceded there for F Magnet. So that means I'm sure French Connects will be conceded as well. So someone square after 1 hole if this is conceded, which it is. 2 birdies to start.
Someone watching this at home, if they understand golf, it's obviously relatively easy to follow straight away. But there may be some confusion as to what's actually involved in playing, because it may seem, if you're watching, that it's just a click of a button. But there's a lot of calculations going on, because we see F Magnets with his calculator as well. So walk me through, because I mean, you're not walking around a golf course with a calculator.
Well, you are in your head, and you also have measuring devices and what have you. So the pros out here at Made in Denmark will have their yardage books. They've got to do it physically through a book, and they'll walk a pace out the yardage. But I guess it's about how much you want to play to this level or just for fun, isn't it? As in, you'll see F Magnets as using a calculator. He's going to be using that for the wind, for the slope, to calculate where he needs to aim, what club, how hard he needs to hit it. You know, you don't have to play at that standard. You could just play for leisure and hit it around and enjoy the serene, like the idea of playing St Andrews as well. I guess it's where you want to take it. But these guys are playing at the highest level, so they don't want to leave anything on the table, really.
And at that level, they've got, you can choose your clubs. You can buy them in the pro shop in-game. And it does help the better your clubs, the better your equipment, the better you play. And a lot of it is, I mean, when you take a look at this game as a golf enthusiast, there's obviously a lot of familiarities here that you can identify with.
Oh, all day long, loads. It's very, very similar to what you would experience out on the real course. And kind of as similar and at the same time not similar as you'd want it, because you don't want to get wet, cold, and winded on, which you would out there today.
Oh, yeah, I experienced that earlier today, Mark. I went for a little walk around.
So I understand why a higher percentage of our finalists play golf than don't, because it's you know, I can see the relationship, if you can't get to play golf, how this is a bit of fun pastime, if you want to play to that as a leisure activity. It's 155 yards. Look at the wind. That's the strongest wind I think I've seen. 20 to 22 miles an hour at F Magnet's second shot there. And again, using the slope, that's rolling down to not... Is that going to stop? Was that hitting another slope? Yeah, decent shot. I think gets a round of applause from the players, so they're obviously appreciating that one. I think we didn't see over 15 mile an hour yesterday. And obviously a feature of St Andrews would be that the wind is going to blow more. It's next to the sea and it's in Scotland.
That was actually exactly what I was going to ask you. I was like, St Andrews doesn't exactly have the greatest weather. So
you're going to get a lot of wind. It's part of the feature of the course. If you take the wind away from this course, when the pros play there, they do score low, but you add the wind and they struggle to hold on the par. It's a classic link setup. I mean, it's one of the most, you know, it's one of the most world famous golf courses there is.
Good shot there from F Magnets.
Sorry, yeah, that was F Magnet's shot there, wasn't it? That was a great shot.
In the cup.
That's gone in. What a shot.
Even looks slightly surprised there.
He's just playing it cool, you know. He's just trying to keep his level. So that moves him to 1 up. Holds his second shot. That's crazy. So 397 par 4. Again, 21 mile an hour downwind. And you can see the tee shot without the little map on the right. You ain't going to know where to go. And that's exactly what it's like when you stand on the tee there. I've stood on this tee and you literally look at a sea of gorse and you think, well, I wouldn't, you'd need a map like that to know where you're going. Good drive there from F Magnets. French Connect are also going to try and hit the fairway. Like with any of the other courses we've seen, if you go and hit it in one of those fairway bunkers, which are deep at St Andrews, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Interesting little fact for you as well. Obviously, in the game, you have to buy, like I mentioned, your equipment. And we were chatting about this yesterday, but you buy your balls as well.
Yeah.
And that means that if you lose your ball in the game, you
lose
it. You have to pay for more. So you can use how the currency in World Golf Tour works is you earn currency in game, and you can also obviously load up your credit card. If you're a little bit like me, it's easier just to use real money than actually try and achieve something in the game. You can do that as well, and you're able then to purchase various equipment, including balls, and you do lose them, and you then have to replace them.
So people who play on PC, great second shot from F Magnets there. Was that F Magnets' second shot? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably gimme distance. I wonder how many people are playing mobile compared to PC. I wonder how the gameplay changes. I mean, you're the gamer. Do your games cross over platforms like that?
So I think that mobile, it's different functionality, and I chatted to some of the guys about the change. So all our competitors are playing on PC, but there's obviously a very big mobile base. It's a very different game in the way that you play it. There's a lot more you can do on PC. So everything from, like we just saw, changing where you want to hit the ball, if you want to add some spin. There's a lot more options, a lot more calculations that you can do. Mobile doesn't offer you as much sort of changes, if you like.
So the real skill set for these guys is, that's a great shot from French Connect as well, is again, we're going to see, I mean, it was a hold second shot that moved F Magnets into one up. There's not much in these two. This is a 5-foot putt, but I think we're going to see it. Yeah.
I think that you'll have players that will specialize in mobile, and then you have players like the ones we're seeing now specialize in PC. They change it up. I don't think that it devalues any platform. It's just a different style of gameplay,
absolutely.
if you like.
Yeah, and fits your lifestyle in a different way, I'm sure, doesn't it?
Well, of course, some people want to play on their phone on the toilet. Some people want to play during their lunch break at work on their PC.
That's what they're doing on the toilet, is it? Right, this for birdie. Good putt, French Connect. Well done, well hold. F Magnets, is this given, or are we going to see a... So this is a little bit of gamesmanship could happen here. 3 foot, so we're going to get a... Yep, it was conceded. Well done, French Connect. See, because in real golf, you could try and get a little, get in their head there. So you could make them putt it, but you know they're going to hold it, so it offends them that you didn't give it. So it you get this little. Do you see what I mean?
It's a little bit. It's a little bit of a mind game.
Yeah,
that you
so you're not
play.
seeing it thinking they'll miss it. You're going to see it because you want them to know that you're not just, this is serious. Tap that in. It's almost like a little bit of a needling,
It's a little bit of a dig.
But these guys are all just too friendly.
Too friendly. I also think that they want to get down to the serious business of competing. So
isn't that competing, mind games?
To a point, but I think that by now, after the quarterfinals, they know who's susceptible to the mind games and who isn't going to fall for it. And I wonder if French Connect knows that F Magnets, he seems quite laid back. He's just take it in his stride.
You can always get in. There's always a route into someone's head. You've just got to find it.
Mark wants the serious head games to take place between our competitors now. They're two good friends. They were all out drinking last night together. They're enjoying the social vibe.
It's not about friendship, that.
No friendship. $5,000 on the line.
They're not friends now, these boys. They're seriously going for it. Right, F Magnets, 175 yards to the hole, wind into off the right, 16 to 18 miles an hour. So you're going to see him aiming out to the right, trying to let the wind bring it back. He's using a 5-iron, hitting it almost full.
Goes a little bit over there.
But is that on purpose or not? That's a good shot.
I tell you what, we'll say it was on purpose because it was a good shot.
Yeah. Because does that help it shape in a little bit more? Do you see what I mean?
It depends on which side of it that you click, so it does.
Yeah,
basically,
it does.
That's what you want.
F Magnets has said that as if, you are commentating on this, bro. You should know this.
But it does, depending on where. So you see that little green line move, and obviously there's the perfect shot of where you want to hit it. But you need to take into effect the wind, and you obviously take into effect the slopes, and then depending on where you hit it on either side of that line, you can kind of change
the direction it
flies.
So that was a calculated not miss. I think that was an intentional good shot. So same thing, 159, same wind, obviously, for French Connect. Again, all very quiet on the gaming table. Not much banter going on, is there? Oh, look at these two are on it. 2 good shots there, boys. Very good, very good. That was a good shot. So this is a 4.9 foot putt for F Magnets, and it's being seen.
Interesting to see there that obviously F Magnets going a little bit over, French Connect a smidgen under, and yet both getting fantastic shots. So it really just comes down to, much like I suppose golf in real life, the kind of play that you want to have.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes down to fine details. So this breaking off the left to his right. Taps it in, another good birdie. You can see why these are the best players, can't you? I mean, they're just birdieing every hole. It's impressive. So I'm sure this will be conceded. Oh. Yeah, it was. So halved in birdie. So the only thing separating this is the hold second shot from F Magnets at the minute. And this is exactly what they were saying with this course. It's basically so even. And with the greens being that bit flatter, like we saw yesterday at Wolf Creek, if your putting goes off, it's hard there, where because they're a little bit flatter here, I think we're going to see more hole putts. So that's a 300 and still going. Look, 320. So this is an interesting point here as well. So yeah, it's still rolling that ball at 327 yards drive. The fairways at St Andrews are going to roll quicker than they would at, say, Wolf Creek, and we saw that on that drive there. A little bit more rollout means you have to be a little bit more accurate off the tee, otherwise you're going to roll into trouble. So this is a par 5, 5-5-2, wind off the left, and you've got out of bounds. See on the map, you've got the white line all the way up the right, that's out of bounds. So this course goes all the way out, 9 holes, little loop, and then all the way back. So you've always got out of bounds on one side of the course. So basically at St Andrews, missing on the right is a bad thing. You've got to miss on the left if you're going to miss off the tee. 2 good drives, 203 into this par 5, so they're both going to be looking at making definite birdies to eagles here. You can see where they're aiming that because the wind's going to move it back. See him aiming at the left-hand trap then. French Connect doing his maths on where to aim and drop it. The other feature here at St Andrews, double greens. So each green is paired up, so you get 2 greens joint, which is, you don't get that on golf courses. So some of the biggest green complexes you'll see in the world, really.
F Magnet's putting a little bit of a face at that one. So is French Connect, though. Not potentially happy with the shot.
I didn't see where it ended, though. How close did that finish up? F Magnet's got the same problem. He's going to have to use the wind as well. Again, we've said it, but for anyone joining, you're going to see F Magnets using a calculator a lot. He uses that to calculate, to allow him for the wind and any slope. That's a great second shot, again, from F Magnets, really starting to show his why he's #1 seed. That was a very, very good shot.
I like the fact that, as you mentioned, why that calculator's in use, using the slope, the wind, he gets such a fantastic shot, and you saw it slope down slightly, so it's obviously working in his favor.
Absolutely. So French Connect, 33 feet. Now, I don't know the answer to this question. We'll try and get someone to answer but at some point. But I don't wonder if the wind affects the putts, because the wind is blowing there. Yeah, thank you. F Magnets is like my in-game support.
So we have an expert at World Golf Tour coming in. So Sebaku, who is our second highest seed, unfortunately knocked out of the competition in the quarterfinals yesterday, is going to join us for a little bit of commentating. So now Mark can ask all your in-game questions.
Fantastic. Nice. Thanks for joining us, Sebaku.
Hi, guys.
So let's have a little chat about that. You wanted to mention about the wind there?
Yes, well, F Magnets confirmed he was putting into all downwind there. Does the wind play a part when it comes to the putting?
No, not that much. And on this wind won't modify the shorter putts. But
on a 33-foot putt, he had I think it was a 16-mile-an-hour wind. Would that, if it was down or into, would you adjust for that?
Not really. I wouldn't adjust to that, but very nice from Max about that. Max played at the highest level as you can play on this course, these 6 holes. So I don't think you can play any better than he did right now. These 6 holes, and French Connect is doing well.
Yeah, it was the whole second shot, and then that second shot on the last was just fantastic, wasn't it?
Yes.
So have you played against either of these two guys?
I think I play French Connect like maybe 15 times
Okay.
before, and I know him to be a consistent player and a very thorough player.
So 400 yards. This is now 20 to 22 mile an hour into the wind. So you can see
this hole is a
wind.
bit harder now with the headwind, but shouldn't be a problem for them.
No, only
the way they play so far.
Yeah.
So we mentioned earlier the conversations that Mark was having with the players, chatting a little bit about how St. Andrews is an easier course, for want of a better term. Does that mean that now with F Magnets sitting 2 up, it's going to be far more difficult for French Connect to catch up, or do you think that he's still got time?
Yes, I would think so. I would think it's much harder if you get back a couple holes to get them back on. It's still a long course, and there's still time for him to get back. But
another good shot there by F Magnets.
Yes. Not as good as he wanted to be.
No, I can see that, yeah. His idea of a good shot is slightly different than mine.
Yes. He will be a bit disappointed now, but I
Still
think
can
he
hold
will
that
make the
putt.
putt. I think he will make
These
that putt,
greens
though.
slightly flatter spots on these greens compared to, say, Wolf Creek, or not?
Yes, the putts are easier here.
Yeah.
And
again, that levels it, doesn't it? Like you say, like if you do get ahead,
yes.
if people are hitting it close enough, they're going to hold putts, aren't they?
For sure, yeah.
So
Putts are much more consistent on St. Andrews than on the other two courses.
So 125 yards into the flag, again 20 to 22 mile an hour into the wind. He's playing his 9-iron. He knows F Magnets isn't in tight, so he's going to want to get this close.
A much better shot, yes.
Yeah, great
Very
shot.
nice.
In.
Oh,
yes, please.
Very nice.
Oh, and a little fist pump there. Did you see that? Some emotion coming from French Connect. Good to see.
Both players holding a shot that's pretty rare.
Yeah, that's impressive, isn't it?
Yes.
In
You won't
one
see that.
game. Well, this is the semi-finals, so you know.
But still, it's pretty hard to hold shots.
So back to 1 from nowhere. French Connect now with the honour. 388 yard par 4.
So indeed, this game is played at the highest level.
Yeah. And are you a calculator player? Are you got a calculator up there?
No.
I can't remember. You're all doing it all eyeballing.
No, I'm all in my head.
Yeah.
I don't use any.
Doing the maths in your head, or are you just visually doing it with the graphics of the game?
No, doing the maths in my head, but I don't do that. I play by feel most of the time.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't use them. But using a calculator shouldn't be a problem.
You have played more than 30,000 rounds in the game.
Way too much.
So by now, I was about to say, by now you got to have a feel for it.
Yeah. Yes, I can agree with that.
2 good drives. Again, you can see the feature of this course. Look at the slopes on that fairway. Is that going to stop? Yeah.
Yes, it will stop.
That was close to the bunker, wasn't it?
Both of them played it safe, at least their drives here, and did the right thing by doing so.
Yeah. 82 yards into the flag.
Right.
14 to 16 mile an hour downwind, so they're going to have to land it.
So it'll be 2 wedge shots, and I don't expect them to
be too far away.
No, he's using the pitch view to adjust for the wind a bit, and now.
So French Connect first. F Magnets with a slightly longer shot off the tee.
Sebekir, as a matter of interest, so from a credits point of view, if I'm not mistaken, out of all the players here, you have the most in-game credits at the moment, but F Magnets is very close to beating you. Does that frustrate you at all, that he might knock you out of that top spot when it comes to earnings in-game?
I mean, it's a friendly competition, but I don't mind that much. It's just a number. I mean, it's not that important. He's the better player between us right now, so it will finally... the numbers will show that.
The numbers will show that, and then you'll obviously regain your top spot, right, and knock him down a bit in a couple of months, because that's how it has to go down.
I mean, it won't end here, so.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. So 72 yards in for F Magnets.
Yes.
French Connect is going to have to part. He isn't
Yeah, both of them will have to putt.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a
similar
difficult
distance
putt. It will
either
break
side.
a bit, but the putts won't break that much.
Yeah.
So I expect both of them to make the putts.
So F Magnets first at 1 up. This needs to go in. Again, you can see the breaks are far smaller than what we were seeing at Wolf Creek, where they were aiming
far smaller than
considerably
we've seen.
further away.
You didn't get a chance to see the putts on the second hole. That's where you will see a bigger break than the rest of the holes. But Max at work.
So it's just breaking to his right. He's going to have to move this up the left. That's going to go in.
Oh my.
No, so he's not
swinging past there.
Oh my.
Not impressed with that. Yeah, so that was this to go all square. French
All
Connect's
square,
going to breathe a little bit of a
I may have jinxed
sigh of
Max
relief
with
there.
my comment.
Yeah,
before.
I think you did. You totally did. Right, this to go all square. This is big because the 2 up was looking like a good place to be, but going back to all square, it's going to be anyone's going into the 8th and onwards, isn't it? Into the back 9. Again, just moving to our right as we look. His left, this putt.
A little bit of pressure now. Obviously, French Connect knows.
And we've seen F Magnets under break his, I think he did. So is French Connect going to learn from that?
Yes.
Yeah, well holed.
Solid putt.
Very good. Back to all square.
So it's interesting because we chatted a little bit about this course and we said once you get the lead, it's very hard to catch up, and yet we've seen French Connect do just that.
Semi-finalism, isn't it? You know,
Like I said, the game is played at the highest level, so yeah.
There's no time
French
for
Connect
mistakes.
played great as well.
Just got to do it on the day at the time, haven't you? So 207 par 3.
Yes, the longest pin here.
And the wind is 20 to 22, again, the highest we've seen off their right. So we're going to see these aiming. You see where he's aiming way out to the right to allow for that wind?
Yes, on these settings, this is like the highest the wind will blow.
Yeah.
So you won't see it go past the... Oh, I don't think he's happy with that. On the bad side of the...
So it's going to move left of the flag.
Oh, yeah, a bit short. Yes, a bit disappointing.
And then you can see it just moving away. So it's caught the slope alert, so he's dropping off. That is not his best approach shot.
Yes.
Lots of spectators starting to come in and obviously watching this at home as well. So this is World Golf Tour. That's the game that you see our players playing. The most realistic golfing simulator, I'd argue, in the world right now, because the courses look really realistic.
They look amazingly
use photo
realistic.
mapping to get
they're
this.
beautiful to watch.
Beautiful to watch
courses,
and geographically accurate as well, which means that when you're playing this game, you get much of the same sensations you would as on the golf course. All of the mapping is done the same way, so you can see there in the top right-hand corner how the wind speeds come into play, and then they're playing the actual courses.
Very good shot from Max.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Very good. Needed that after losing the last 2 holes. He wants to get some momentum back going the other way, doesn't he? So
this is a double breaker.
Yeah.
A bit, and
needs to go in, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's pretty hard. Not that hard, but it's pretty hard to.
Yeah, the make percentage from here isn't going to be the highest, surely, is it? So yeah, double breaker moves to his right and then back to the left as it gets over the hill.
But John French Connect, he's putting a lot of work on his putt. So
is he?
Yes, that's his forte.
He did putt well yesterday.
I didn't.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. No, you.
Oh, it looks great. Oh,
that is
really
a good
close.
effort. It's
really
a very
good effort. Yes.
That'll be gimme, I'm sure. So this is now, yes, that putt will be conceded, but this is a 7-foot putt for F Magnets to go back to 1 up.
Yeah, a pretty easy putt. There.
Not massive amounts of break. Yeah,
Nice.
well hauled.
Well
back
done,
to
Max.
1 up for F Magnets. Very good. So he's been leading pretty much all the way. I'll be happy to get back into that, sneak into that lead.
I think especially when you move into a semi-final, this is where you want to just have a point on the board, for want of a better way to put it. Because
any little blanket is nice at this stage, isn't it?
For sure.
You know what I mean?
There's a small chance of to see an eagle here, so you might pay attention on these drives.
As in they can hit the green?
Yes, they could hit the green.
Because it's downwind so much. Yeah, they're very close, aren't they?
Yeah.
So this is a 3-4-7 par.
I don't think he was happy with the way
he hit that. Oh, he's in the rough.
He's in the rough. This is exciting for Mark because he really didn't believe that these
Thanks,
players...
F-Magnet. So, yeah, I was waiting for that.
He did that just for you, so you could see.
But he's in the good rough.
In the rough, off the tee.
He's in the good rough, though.
So he will see plenty of the ball. He won't get that percentage of the ball where it's down, like if you're in the heavy rough or the bunker.
No, it's a good rough to be in. It won't affect your shot that much.
Yeah.
So let's see how John will hit his drive because he can reach the green. Not sure. I'm not sure he's too happy about that.
That's left, is it?
Oh, it looks good.
Similar to F-Magnet.
Oh, soft bounce.
Yes.
Interestingly enough,
Front
so
edge,
F-Magnet's 93% driving accuracy. 7%.
We've just seen one of the 7%.
7% of the time in the rough. So we got
honoured.
to see that. That's probably one of those things you don't see very often.
I think he did that just for me, like as a little treat.
The bromance between F-Magnets and Mark is growing stronger day by day.
But the British are staying together.
Yeah, they're sticking
absolutely,
together.
yeah. Wait, it's 24 yards away, so he's going to pitch this up. 17 mile an hour downwind off
So
the
it's
right.
a flop, yeah.
Flopping it up there.
Yeah,
Decent
pretty nice shot, yes.
No, good.
It's an easy birdie from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless French Connect can do something with his chip shot, this is looking very much like a half. Again, will they flop this? That's always you seem to flop every chip. You guys.
No, you can flop, pitch, or chip, but this I would usually chip for this.
So that's going to come in a little bit lower than a flop.
I would pitch this because it has bigger chances to go in.
I see
to
what you
hold
mean.
it.
Yeah.
So you could see a pitch. Close.
Good shot. Little up the
Yes.
left, but decent shot. I'm sure that's conceded. I'm not quite sure how close F-Magnet
I find
is.
chipping is not the most accurate way to get closer to the hole. So
Yeah.
that will be a pitch, and the safest will be the flop.
Yes.
But the pitch has the biggest chances of holding it in.
Certainly. Right, so 5-foot putt.
Yeah, not a problem.
It was gimme.
Well
Good
done.
birdie.
It was a gimme.
Yes.
See, that was one of those needle gimmies. You see that? Like he's trying to get in F-Magnet's
We are
head with that, you see.
yeah, we are reaching the second half of this match, though. So now it is time to play the mind games.
Yeah, you're gonna-
the
yeah.
the friendliness and the
Has to end,
gentlemanliness
doesn't it?
has to end.
That's conceded, so we move into the back nine. And
Friendly
we are
wins. Friendly wins.
F-Magnets is one up. So we're going to see all these holes. Mostly, well, it doesn't work like that, actually, because the wind is randomised. I was just about to say we're going to see this all downwind, but it doesn't actually work like that. Each hole changes, doesn't it?
Yes, each hole changes, but player got lucky with these settings to see a lot of good wins. And with the right bounce here, you can get on the green as well.
So this is
and now you'll see.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
Oh, that's a bit unlucky.
He's not that happy, but...
Oh, because it's rolled on.
Yes, it's being a long pot, but
So
you'll have to work for...
Yeah, 368 or 366 is that saying par 4, but it's 21 mile an hour, up to 21 mile an hour downwind.
Almost a 400-yard drive.
Yeah, which is why they can drive this. And obviously these fairways are running out more than you do see that we saw at Wolf Creek and what have you. So you do get a bit of chase off the fairway. So French Connect's going to look towards getting this on the green and try and claw that one down back here now. How's that looking?
Oh, he will hit the green as well.
Will
and
it
a much better one.
Also looks a bit disappointed, though.
Oh,
on the
just a bit
fairway.
Oh, so he
short.
got a soft bounce.
I mean,
Rather yours than mine.
1 yard longer and it will have rolled towards the green.
You see that little cheekiness from F-Magnets there saying rather yours than mine.
That's because I presume that slopey has to come down,
That's
is it?
slope.
Yes, it's much easier to par it from where French Connect is then.
Yeah. So
Next-
you would always chip from off the green, not putt? More
Yes.
safer to chip?
Yes, you would putt from fringe maybe, but usually from fairway, which they are now.
Because I would putt that in real life.
Yes.
My chipping's a bit dodgy, you see.
Oh, looks
Putt
good.
it,
Oh,
safer.
good line.
It was online, just needed a bit more.
Right. Yeah, needed a bit more on it.
So 2 putts for the half for F Magnets here.
I suspect
I'm
Max
sure he'll be
will
happy. Look
calculate.
at those breaks, yeah. So I'm sure he'd be happy with 2 putts rather than thinking he's going to hole this, surely.
It will break from right to left. Pretty.
You can see him there. He is using his calculator, trying to work out those slopes from the information on the screen. He's got his little system, his little
In 45
algorithm,
seconds, you need
like.
to use maybe some.
Yeah.
To get it close.
And again, I think that shows the difference between the level they want to play at to what I would play at, for instance. I would just hit that and see where it ends. Oh, I'm off the green. So that's now going to start moving left. Or we got, no.
He left it way short and.
So not his best putt.
Yes, certainly not.
Little bit of grimacing on the face there. Wasn't impressed with that.
Yes.
A bit of questioning of his.
Not a tough putt.
Maybe he hit the wrong button on the calculator. At the 8 instead of 6 by accident.
I don't think so.
Oh no!
I don't think so. It's not a hard putt, but certainly not the one he wanted.
Yeah, it's harder now with French Connect in there, nice and close, probably a gimme distance. So it's 18 foot, has to go in to keep his 1-up lead. No, missed it.
No, missing it.
Gutted. He's not happy with that. What a miss. The
He
first
certainly
putt
is
let
not
him down,
happy.
wasn't it? First putt really let him down a bit there.
Yes, the first putt is where he did it wrong.
And that was
He
conceded.
would want to
get
take
that
it back.
closer, yeah.
Yes.
So back to all square. This is tight, very tight now. Running out of holes on this first semi-final.
Obviously, French Connect feeling the pressure a little less now because twice he's been able to claw back. That's going to give him the confidence.
Yes, he's a lot quieter than in real life.
Yeah. He's concentrating. I think the cameras make him a bit quieter as well, don't they? They need to get...
I think $5,000 that you could
Is that what it
potentially
is?
win would get me quiet and concentrating too. He's focusing now. Like you said, clawed his way back twice. Of course, these guys are playing for a spot in the finals of the first ever European eTour.
This is an important hole.
Yeah,
It's one of the holes that
180
make
yard
the
par
difference.
3. Wind is that because it's
headwind.
into off the left, yeah. Pin at the back with a big drop off at the back, which you don't want to hit.
This hole is usually one of the difference makers on a course like St. Andrews.
Right. Because I guess it's one of the longer approaches you're going to have, isn't it? Because there's a lot of driving pitch holes, isn't it? So he's hit that the wrong side of that line by a bit there, isn't he?
Yeah.
So which way
certainly
will
not
that...
happy with that.
Yeah. So that will affect its direction and its distance?
Yes, exactly. Missing the ding will certainly in that way with this wind will make it deviate a lot more to the right.
Yeah. So the ding is that white, the big white line that you can see bottom right middle of the screen. Everybody watching.
That's the most important thing.
You've got to hit
for
that.
most players.
Yeah.
So right now, Max missed the ding, but he missed it on the good side of the wind. So
Okay, so he's going to use
his
the
ball
wind.
won't deviate as much.
Yes, and it's a good shot.
Oh, a little bit short, but still doable.
Yeah, decent shot. So he's going to have a chance there if less French Connect holds to go 1-up. Because French Connect isn't that close, is he?
No, he has a lot. I would say a little break. But it's difficult to adjust because the break is at the beginning of his spot.
Yeah. 21 foot. You can see it's moving to our right. That's his left as he putts. He's going to start this out to the right for it to come back. So again, the red to the blue. The red shows that that's sloping more, doesn't it, Sebiko? Is that correct? The red is sloping more than the blue?
Yes.
On the graphic.
And let's see. Ooh,
Bit low.
Too slow.
Yeah.
I mean. A bit too slow.
So F Magnets has a putt now. They go back to 1 up.
How dangerous is it now if Magnets can bring it back to 1 up for French
It's
Connect?
still a long game, and there are a couple more holes to get it back, but he just got back to all square, and he won't want to...
Just give it straight back, will he?
Yes. He wants to keep up.
The momentum, definitely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Doesn't look like a tough 8.4, 0.5 feet, but
8.5 feet putt.
still some work to do.
Go 1 up, hit the ding.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And
Nice
hold
birdie.
it. Good putt.
Very nice,
Magnets,
Max.
well played. So back to 1 up. This is hotting up into the back 9, and it's still anyone's to play for, but wow.
Oh,
great.
Another
back.
reachable par 4. I think we will see with this wind we can see some.
339 yards, downwind, 18 miles an hour, so we can hit the green here.
Yes, especially with this spin. Okay, looks good.
Wants a soft bounce.
Yes, very nice shot.
Now hopefully that's not going to go up that slope.
Up
It's
the
going to come
slope,
back
and it
off
will
it.
come back a bit. Yeah. Oh.
Get down there.
Very
it's
on.
gonna need to get.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
here it comes.
Yes,
It's
very
a good
nice.
drive.
Very nice.
So he's going to have an eagle putt, putting the pressure on French Connect now to get
nice ball.
obviously the right bounce and hit a decent drive. At 1 down on the 12th, you do not want to be going 2 down here.
They're using different balls, and I think French Connect has more spin on it, so he could get it a bit closer than.
Okay.
But still, he has to hit it.
Yeah, he has to hit a good shot.
If you're wondering now about the voices that you can hear, of course, Mark Crossfield, our golfing expert, real-life golfer now moving to the virtual world. And then Sebeku, who was our 2nd seed in the first ever European eTour. He was knocked out of the competition, but now he's jumping in here to chat a little bit to Mark.
Share his expertise.
Great,
What a drive.
Great shot.
Oh, great shot, French Connect. Little tip to the
nice
crowd
drive.
there like that. He gets that from the player. They do that out there on the course.
Yeah.
They should have a cap on. They could just tip their cap.
Yes,
you know?
very well deserved.
Yeah,
Tip of the cap for John.
So French Connect's part, I'm sure, will be given when we get to it. That looked like gimme distance. So this kind of has to go in. It'll flip to the feet in a second because he's got a wedge in his hand at the minute. But this is a putt. He's going to change club in a second. So there we go with 16 foot.
It's not the hardest.
No, not much break
foot.
again, is it?
Yes.
You can see the
It's not the
lines.
hardest spot, but still.
Has to go.
Yes.
Are we going to see another?
It's certainly not a gimme, though.
No. Are we going to see another amazing clawback by French Connect here?
Looks good. Yes.
Let's go.
Well done, Max.
Well hold.
Tremendous.
Absolutely well hold. That had to go in then, didn't it?
Yes.
So I'm sure French Connect is going to be given if we didn't see.
John. Well done.
Yes.
Great eagle. Well done.
Great eagle compliment there
Yes.
from F Magnets. Good spirit. They play in good spirit, don't they, eh?
Well, I think they've all travelled really far to be here, so
Might as well be
they're
mates.
still going to be mates afterwards.
The players here were a really friendly group, so.
It's a great group, yeah.
Yes.
The feel for all of you, I mean, as I
Yeah,
sat with you this
we all-
morning, you're all getting on and you'll relate through the game, but you're enjoying being away and kind of catching up with each other, aren't you?
Yes, we had a lot of fun together, and I'm really glad because I didn't expect the group to be that tight and
Yeah,
to enjoy ourselves here and
excellent.
to socialize the way we did.
Yeah. So 440-yard par 4, wind off the right now, 15 mile an hour, so it's quieting down a little bit the wind, but they're still going to aim out to the right for that wind. You see it moving back to the left in the air as the wind pushes it.
Yes, this is one of the harder holes on the back as well.
Yeah.
So, the green around the pin is not the easiest to putt, so.
It's slopey, is it?
Yes, so the players will want to shoot it closer to the hole.
Yeah. It's 132 yards, again, same wind, 13, 50 miles an hour off the right. F Magnets to go first.
He let the meter run because he didn't like the way he was
Okay,
going.
so if he doesn't hit the button, it just starts again, basically,
Yes.
if he doesn't go
Yes.
for his ding hit as such.
Yes. hit that on the good side of the thing, and there you go. Great, great
what a
shot.
shot.
Incredible shot.
That'll be gimme distance. Very good. Again, just applies the pressure back onto French Connect,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, a game played at the highest level.
Absolutely. And at 1 down on the 13th.
Yes. He did those 2 small mistakes on the front, but on the and the front, one on the front and one on the first one on the back.
Yeah.
But still, he.
This needs to go close.
John really needs to get this close because he doesn't want to go 2 down right now.
It's a question I asked you earlier, but I mean, it plays in even more now as we slowly get through the back 9. You don't want to go down because it's going to be way harder to claw your way back.
Yeah, and he's going to have to hold that putt. I mean, it's close enough to hold, but we're going to have to see it tapped in at 11 feet because for F Magnets is definitely given. This has to go to stay at 1 down.
He has a bit of work to do to hold this.
Yeah.
He would have wanted it a lot closer, yes.
This is where the pressure really starts to mount. Semi-finals, they want that spot in that final, and we're running out of holes on the 13th.
And you can see now John thinking his putt, working out his way of. Like I said, he's very thorough on his putting, on his.
On all his calculations.
Yes. No, it's like just look at it from different angles and see the real break. Looks good.
Well
very
hold,
nice.
French
Well
Connect.
done. Nice.
Well hold.
Yes, a
Keeps
pressure
him in
putt
it.
and
Keeps him in it.
yes, a pressure putt. He did it very well there.
When he needed it, very good, and that will be conceded, I'm sure. So that was halved in birdie. Stays at 1.
Usually,
for F Magnets.
So usually players agree to concede. Usually the distance is like 3 feet.
Is it?
Yeah. So anything less, but it depends of
situation change that. Because it would in the real world. Situation, a 3-foot putt when you're just about to win on the 18th is very different to a 3-foot putt on the 7th in what's going on out there.
It's a gentleman agreement at the beginning of the match. So
they would have agreed a distance already, you think, that they might give?
Yes.
According to F Magnets, they have not agreed anything.
If they did, he's not keeping to it.
They have not agreed to concede. But possibly something that happens in game every so often.
Yes, usually you agree, but it's no problem. I mean, everybody has his own way, so.
So this is a 5-9-1.
The conceding is doing for the speeding of the game.
Yeah, otherwise you're tapping putts in. I mean, it's the same in real match play. You know, you're not going to see a putt that you know someone, you just want to move on.
Yes.
But you definitely can play mind games a bit with gimmies or not.
Of course, of course.
When you play...
But I would think the players at this level, you have a very small chance of missing that. And I mean,
we saw it a little bit yesterday, didn't we? For Golf X3's putting wobbled a little bit, and even he said at one point, "I wouldn't have given me this because it was at a distance."
It was a 2.5 putt. With a big breaker.
Yeah. So this is a 500 and something yard par 5, so you can see it's into the wind, 15, 17 miles an hour, so they cannot get there in 2. There'll be a third shot pitch into the green. So a bit more work to be done on this hole. 1 up still for F Magnets. He's going to hit his second shot again, just trying to avoid those bunkers, knock it into play so he can pitch on with his third.
With these woods, clearing the bunker won't be a problem.
Okay. Oh, that's a ding. He dinged it.
He dinged it, yes. That's the term.
Is that the term, is
yes.
it? Oh, I got the term right.
Super impressive until we get you behind a PC.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that. You know they say
I might
those
say that in my next video.
You gotta jab.
I've dinged it.
Those who can't play Shoutcast.
Yeah.
You have to kill that stereotype, Mark.
Yeah. 52 yards, pitch shot into the wind again, still 15, 17 miles an hour, so the wind is still strong. F Magnets at 1 up is going to want this in close, because you can imagine French Connect is going to be getting his
Both of
close.
them are expected to have a gimme after their approach.
Yeah.
Looks good, yes.
Great shot.
Very nice shot.
Very good. Solid.
Thanks.
at the right time.
We've seen Golf X3 and Birchie.
Birchie just on the phone.
Lounge.
Wonder if he's watching the live feed, actually.
Yes.
On YouTube, I think, is it? European Tour for anyone?
YouTube, Twitch,
Hello, everybody.
Facebook. You can watch it on all the
Probably
platforms.
just texting Mum. Hi, Mum.
Getting a little bit of advice before his
yesterday.
next semi-final.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
lovely shot.
As well.
Super shot.
Not
Yeah.
happy with that, though, you can see there.
It's a good shot, though, isn't it? 3 foot. Is that in the gentleman's agreement?
No, I don't think so
3.4?
now. I would
Ooh.
concede that, but they don't have to do
No,
that.
F Magnets
The
needs to
stakes
tap
are so
this in.
high, so
He's
Birdie.
tapped it in. Cool.
no
he just
games
tapped it
with
in.
these stakes.
Yeah, yeah.
I would guess.
So I think that was a concede we heard there. Yep, absolutely. So the 15th hole we move on to. F
Yes.
Magnets 1 up. He is just clinging on to that lead, isn't he?
Yeah, we have to see the wind on this hole because with headwind, yeah.
21, 19 to 21. That's a strong wind. 459 par 4. I think that said it would have been. So this is going to be playing long, isn't it?
Not that long, but won't be played that easy
Yeah.
as it would be with the tailwind.
So they're going to have a longer second shot in.
Yes.
15th hole. F Magnets 1 up.
So 15.
Will we see our first pair go down the 18th?
15 and 17 are the hardest.
Yeah, I was going to
left.
say is 7. So 17 is the famous road hole, which for the golf fans watching and the eTour golfers watching as well, they're going to know 17 over the hotel, and then you got the road behind the green, and you got the road bunker. It's a world famous tough hole.
I visited last year.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Excellent. And so, what was it like to visit? Obviously, a hole that you've seen on the screen so many times.
I was surprised how close they got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Real, yeah.
Well, I remember going, my first time I went to Wentworth after watching it on the telly for years and years. Yeah, it's hitting fairway. Yeah,
Yes,
good shot.
good drive.
And I remember going there thinking, I kind of know where everything is, but I've never been here, which was quite a funny feeling to actually go somewhere that you'd seen so often.
So let's see the approaches. I think the decisive shots.
160 yards, 20 mile an hour average wind into off the left, or off the left more than anything else. So you can see we're aiming up the left to allow for that wind. F Magnets the hit first. But 1 up, he's going to want to close this out now. No mistakes. Again, he let that run. That's a ding.
That's a ding. But
Has his calculations worked?
let's see. Looks good. Yeah, he'll be.
Not a bad
Roll a
shot
bit,
at all.
yes.
Certainly
Shot.
very holdable.
Not happy with it, though. I want to say thank you to Sebek, our second seed coming into this competition. Unfortunately, not out in the quarterfinals. Thanks for commentating with us and giving us some insight into the game. We're going to let you go now
Anytime.
to join all the players. Thank you.
Thank you.
Get
Have a
back,
nice day.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
back into the semi-final now with French Connect taking that shot, of course, 1 down, chasing it as we move into these last
Been
few
chasing the
holes.
whole game, hasn't he? He's been really working hard to keep in this.
Goes to work.
Playing some good golf.
Constantly being able to square it up again, though.
He's going to need to, and again, isn't he? 150 yards, wind off the left, so it's the same conundrum that F Magnets had. That's a ding, starting out up the left, letting the wind just move it back. 2 good shots, but 2 putts needed. I think we're going to have to see a little bit of putting happening here.
Interestingly enough for me, both times you mentioned good shots, and yet both players looking a little bit disappointed with where their ball landed. So I think maybe both of them were hoping for something a little bit better there.
I think they've got higher standards than me on this game. That's the problem, isn't it? That's probably why they're the best.
I think with the amount of hours that they put into this game,
Yeah.
they're aware when they set something up like this, they kind of have an idea in their mind of where that ball's going to land. They obviously know these courses inside out now.
Absolutely.
And more than likely practice these specific courses building up to the game when they found out that it was going to be in their course pool.
So this is a 10-foot putting, breaking to his right. But one down, it has to go in. He's not read the slope. That could be very costly. Now, F Magnets is going to see this as a big opportunity, moving on to only 3 holes left after this one. If he moves 2 up here,
he needs this to get in. This is going to give him a comfortable lead.
It definitely is going to put him on a high. I think when French Connect reflects on this game, that might be the putt. He kind of haunts him a bit. 8-foot putt, breaking to his right. Has he hold it? Yeah, he has. That's a good putt.
This is exactly the kind of move you want. It's a semi-final. You need that spot in the final.
2 up, 3 to go. So same as yesterday, we don't play all 18 holes. If you are 3 up, there's only 2 holes left. Your game is over. That's a 3-2 win. So he's 2 up, 3 holes left to play. F Magnets is going to want to close this out now. 423-yard par, 4 wind down off the left. 15 to 17 miles an hour. You can see the out of bounds all the way up the right, which they're probably not seeing, but I would definitely see that if I was playing this game. I'd have to borrow some of F Magnet's golf balls, I reckon. I'd lose all mine over there.
You can see the serious now. This is it. It is our semi-final. 1 step closer to the $5,000 that are on the table. Both of these players desperately wanting to get it into that final.
So another good drive down the middle. Both players hitting the middle of that fairway. It's all you got to do. Give yourself that 3rd shot. So again, this could end here. It could absolutely end here if any mistakes. They're on the 16th. 2 holes left after this, but F Magnets is 2 up. If he wins this hole, it's a 3-2 win.
Must be sitting in his mind right now, knowing that his chances of the finals are
close,
or possibly slowly leaving him. Depending.
Oh, sorry. Yes, for French. Yes. Oh, great shot. Oof. Absolutely could end here with shots like that. Almost hold his 2nd shot.
Thanks. I was pretty sure that that could potentially go in, and that would have been a heartbreaking one.
That would have been.
Watch.
So French Connect knows what he's got to do. That is a gimme for F Magnets, I'm sure. French Connect has to hit this close. He's got a 15, 70 mile an hour wind to deal with. Pretty much the same distance that F Magnets was from, only 77 yards. They do look to get it close from this distance. You can see the ridge in the green. You've just got to fly at the right spot and land it. Slight grimace as he made his calculations. Is it going to be a great shot?
John.
Very good shot, French Connect. Needed to do that. So that is now Dormy. That is 2 down if they're both given. This is 3.9 feet, so I think we will... No, it was conceded. F Magnets, I'm sure, putt was closer, will be conceded. So that moves F Magnets 2 up with 2 to go, very much in the seat of driving. This is, well, we're getting to the 17th. We haven't made it to the 18th yet, but at least we're going to get to see the 17th. And the 17th here at the Old Course is a fantastic golf hole. So we're driving over the edge of the Old Course Hotel.
And you've mentioned as well that this is one of the most difficult holes on the course.
Oh, it is. So this one, when they play the tournament here, without looking at stats, but I'm pretty sure it averages over its par. For these guys, I think they'll still manage it, but when the tournament's here, it's a par 4. And I'm pretty sure it averages over 4.5, which is, you know, very rare on a European or a British Open event that they would, or the Open event that they would have here. Tough drive. 2nd shot's really tough. Massive bunker protects the green. Road literally over the back of the green. And if you hit any of those hazards, you do struggle to then chip and putt.
You can see now the focus on both these players' faces because obviously this is it. This is the hole that is going to decide.
Now, isn't it? Two good drives, finding fairways. It's going to be all on that second shot. You can see how long this hole is as well. 515-yard par 4, and you're in over an hotel, and you've got a massive deep bunker and a road to deal with. You can see why this is one of the toughest par 4s. Again, now you see F Magnet's using his calculator. One of the comments from yesterday, or a repeating one, I think, through the thread, was why are they using the calculator? He's using that to try and gauge the 14 to 16 mile an hour wind, because that will affect the distance he's hitting his shot. And any slope, so hitting up or down hills, which also will change the distance of his shot, and as well direction for the wind also. So he's using that calculator to work out exactly how hard he's got to hit it, what club, where he wants to land it. So he let that
Choosing
one go.
to let that go.
He's dinged it. Much more you can do with that. It's all on those calculations now. You see where that pin is tucked. Now that, yeah, great shots. That should feed into the left with the slope of this green. Watch it coming down. That's a great shot. Very good.
He's shaking his head, so I'm not sure if he wasn't 100% happy with where that landed.
Let's see. It all depends, really, if you think about it, on where this one now lands, doesn't it? If French Connect can't get inside that, then it's a putting game. If he can, then F Magnet's going to have to hole.
$5,000 on the line. French
up.
Connect to take this shot now.
2 down with 2 to go. He's up against it. He knows he's got to hit a good iron in here, and this is not the easiest approach. Just doing his calculations. That's the thing as well. He's landing that well
Good
and
shot,
a bit
John.
softer.
Thank
That's
you.
a very good shot. And again, feeding down to the hole.
That pressure seems to
shot at the
just
right time, isn't
feed
it?
into French Connect. He handles it so well.
It's
And
that
every time he's
confidence.
under that pressure, he just seems to play even better. You saw him there slowly adjusting the distance that he wanted to take that shot with. That's what they can do first before they then decide where exactly they want to go. And he took his time with the force, if you like, that he was going to put behind it.
So this putt to win, this sets F Magnets into the final, because if he holds this, he stays 2 up, 1 hole to go, that's a 2-1 win. This is to get into the final.
The
and
pressure
French Connect
change,
is
yeah.
close, so
Moving.
I reckon
Hold this, it'll be a miracle.
You hear him saying if he holds this, it'll be a miracle. But
he's just
obviously,
bigging that up. He's just bigging that up. 20 foot. I want to see the celebration when this goes in. No, it's the low side.
it's not going in, going
Good
right
effort.
past.
Tough spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Is French Connect gimme? He's 2.8 feet, so that's conceded. So we're going down the 18th. I've got me 18th.
You got your 18th hole, and I like the way in this game we've seen the pressure change sides. So for one moment there it was on French Connect. He had to get that
that
good shot
iron
in.
shot in there close.
Immediately exchanges the pressure to F Magnets. He's got to then get it in the hole. So the backwards and forwards, it's like Sebek, you said, though, this is the top level of play that we're seeing.
It. Yeah, absolutely. So this is 359-yard par 4. Wind kind of down off the right. How close are they getting to this green? Because with the right wind, this is drivable on the right bounce. I think we're going to see this get front edge almost. Good drive. Yeah, you can see it. Look, just getting down. That's called the Valley of Sin. That valley he's just hit his ball into. Great shot from French Connect. Now, can F Magnets hit this green? Is there more power to be squeezed? No, he can't. I like the way he responds to my commentary.
I could try and bounce it off the path for a bit of entertainment.
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, go on then. I'll-
Road ball.
Do it.
Yeah. So by looking at that, that's a ding. He's not gone full power there, has he? He looks like
Here we
he's...
go. Boing.
Oh, he has. So he hadn't gone. Love it. Did you see that?
I think there was a little
That's
bit of showing
confidence.
off there, yes. And to
It's
do it on the
done
18th
well.
hole, but it's done well. Look at that.
So I could see he was taking power off there, but I thought it was some kind of strategy to have a fuller shot in, but it wasn't. It was just to bounce it off the path.
An interesting time to start getting.
That's confidence.
Confidence, maybe cockiness to a degree. 18th hole. Giving you something to talk about. There we go.
I don't need any excuse.
I do think based on that, though, F Magnets is obviously feeling pretty confident that this game is his for the taking.
Well, he's one up, and in theory, there's a good chance they're both
I
going to chip
wouldn't like
it.
French connect off, though. We've seen what's happened. He's fought his way back so many times in this game. I think it's close on 3 or 4 times now.
Absolutely. I feel like this has to go in, though. I really do. So he's 31 yards out. He's aiming up the right. At 1 down with F Magnets in close, this has to go pretty much in. Yeah, did have a go. You could see he was trying to hold that.
He knew.
He thinks that F Magnets is going to probably knock this up quite close and we're going to have a 1-up win. Our first finalist, he does. Still has to play the shot, but F Magnets is all in his hands now. He's putting. Not putting. He's not putting. He's changed clubs. He's going to chip. It's a little pitch shot. So this goes close. We are going to have a handshake. He's older.
And straight in the
What a
cap.
finish.
Confidence. You must have known that was coming, though.
What a shot. That's a 2-up win, F Magnets. Brilliant play.
I felt like after the way he played to that on the 18th there, the way he played to the hole, I was like, he is very. He knows exactly what he's doing.
He was doing there, didn't he?
That play just showed it. The way he got that in the cup. And we've said this before when you play this game, you've set it up. You know exactly where you need that ball to land. These gents have played these courses so many times on World Golf Tour, so he knows if a ball is here, this works in his favor. And I think that last hole just. You got your 18th, but it was
close.
It was
wasn't
close,
it?
but it worked in his favor.
That was such a good match. That was good golf, great competition. Going back and forth like that was really exciting.
I really think it was impressive the way French Connect was able to consistently fight his way back, especially when you think about when we started chatting, and Sebek, you said this as well, St. Andrews normally, once someone gets the lead, it's very hard to take them down, and yet I think French connected it 3-4 times in that game.
Showed his confidence, didn't he, that he mentioned in the VTs at the start. He showed his confidence and went out there and fought a good battle. That was, great match, great match.
There we have it. Our top seed is making it through to the grand final. Simon is with him now. Let's see how he feels about that win.
Yeah, it definitely was a back-and-forth game. How was it to play the game?
It was a really good, fun game. We both started off playing really well. There were eagles there, lots of straight shots, dings. It was a good game.
I have to say, for me, it was the most exciting game of the tournament so far. Was it exciting to play?
Glad we delivered for you. Yeah, it was a really good one to play. I made 2 horrendous mistakes to let John back into the game. But he was also playing well enough to take the opportunities. Played really well.
And French Connect, how are you feeling right now?
I'm very disappointed. I can't lie about that.
But what makes F Magnus so hard to play against?
He's very consistent. He's very good at, putting the ball close. And, it's really hard to find a spot where you can get up on him, that's for sure.
But you did get back in the game a couple of times. Is that due to your confidence?
Yeah, I'd say so. Confidence and then just, experience playing some of the shots on the course and everything definitely is very helpful.
And F Magnus, were you ever in doubt during the game about the result?
Of course. Coming back to all square several times, that was... you just keep wondering if you're going to be able to get ahead again, but luckily a few shots went my way.
And how do you feel about being in the grand final later on?
I'll think about that a bit later. See how the other guys do in the next match, and then look forward to it.
Great, congratulations. That means our first grand finalist is F Magnets.
You are watching the European eTour, the first, and we are going to have a champion very soon. One more semi-final to go. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people have been watching. We're obviously at Made in Denmark. They're coming inside. They're watching this, and there's a misconception that playing World Golf Tour is easy. It's just clicking a button. It's just a video game, right? So we decided that maybe we'd take 2 pros off the course, put them behind those computers, and see how easy it really is to play this game. Take a look at this.
Well, it's one of those things that's been with me since I got my first computer.
When I was little, I had the Tiger Woods game on PC. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of practice in golfing on gaming at all.
I don't want to speak too loudly about any skills, because then the pressure is just going to add. But I've played some golf games before.
Well, I think the pressure's on Espen, because he's the gaming pro between the two of us, so I think I can only win.
I'm talking a lot about my skills here, so I better play well.
He's talking a big game.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Jonathan.
Matthias.
Matthias, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Take a seat.
Let's do it.
All right.
So you could pretty much hit this full power and leave it on flat. You could throw a little bit of topspin though too, just to, like you could go up a little bit.
Releasing to let it go down, and then you're trying to click when the thing gets there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're a natural. You're a natural.
Ooh, excellent. So yeah, well, this will give you an idea of how it goes.
You're going to watch and critique everything?
I'll give you a helping hand as we go along.
All right, we're ready.
I'm ready. Best of luck.
Good luck.
Ooh, you're getting good at this. Look at that.
I forgot to play for the wind.
Rookie mistake.
Come on, expect more. Ed.
How about a shot out of the rough? Does it have any penalty?
So you're trying to hit it about 114, 115.
Why is it taking so long?
So if you do... Yeah, it's good distance.
What's up?
108, got the number.
Not bad. You're like a sniper in this game.
Good number. Yep.
All good. Thank you. Wish golf was this easy, right? You made it.
How did that go in?
That was nice.
I don't know, man. Lucky. There you go. Good save. Good save.
Want to go last without help? Just have you. All right, thanks for your help.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Take him down.
Thanks.
.326. I don't hit it that far normally. Ooh. It's gonna spin though. That was my mistake.
How did that happen?
I blame my trainer.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh.
This is getting worse and worse.
Dragging it out.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh wow.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I was 1 under through 3. I would take that every day, so I'm happy about that.
I never learned how to chip, so I was kind of guessing a little bit, and then I just gave up pretty much. You know, it's fun. It's a lot to think about, and it's a lot of the same things that we factor in, like wind, how much the ball is going to bounce, what type of ball you're playing.
It was nice and easy to teach the guys. They know how to play golf, obviously, so they're familiar with what they're supposed to be doing.
Would you say it was all due to your coaching that he won?
Yeah, I'd say 99% me.
Well, as soon as he had to send his coach away, it all went wrong, didn't it? Professional golfers are not very good when they have to think for themselves. They need a caddy.
Yes, and I've put myself out there because right now I'm gonna try and chip these balls onto this this course we have right here. I don't know which course it is, if it's Himmerland, but I'll also add some pressure to myself, saying that I actually took up golfing lessons for 3 years, but that's about 10, 15 years ago. So I don't know how it's gonna go down, but let's check it out. All right, that's on the green. Round of applause. Okay, yeah. Wait, come on. Ooh, closing in. Come on, baby. Okay, so the first 2 shots were okay, right? But I don't know, guys. Do you think you could do any better?
Mark,
That was
you think
good, wasn't it?
You think you could do a little bit better than that?
Chipping's not my skill anymore, unfortunately, so I was actually quite impressed with Simon's chipping there. Last one was a little wild, but there's promise, absolutely.
I do like the fact that Simon has figured out today, because obviously we are at Maid in Denmark, we're in the tented village, there's lots of fun activities around us, and he's just figured out how to spend the rest of his broadcast
just
having
playing.
a little bit of a party and playing while the rest of us work. Simon, smart move, I suppose. But I'm going to send Mark out there to try and beat you in a little bit.
Yeah, well, that could be interesting.
Let's get back into it right now. Of course, it is the European eTour. Our semi-finals are underway. We already know who our first finalist is. It is one of the favorites for the competition, top seed F Magnets. But now we need to find out who he is going to compete against. Is it going to be the calm and cool Canadian walk of life, or is it going to be the dark horse of the competition, Birchie? We're going to find out.
My name is Simon, I'm 28 and I'm from Berlin, Germany. I officially registered my account in 2012. The more difficult the setup is, lots of heavy winds, fast greens, uneven lies, that's where I excel. But well, I think I'm good under pressure. I know the courses that we're going to play inside out, and yeah, I think I'll have a decent chance.
The dark horse of our semi-finals, Birchie, of course, knocking out our second seed yesterday. Let's take a look at his stats. You saw there in his player interview where he specifically says he knows the courses very well, so he's very confident no matter what he plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he'll mind what course he plays. I think he'll be more than happy. This I don't mean this in a bad way, that he's still here, because he obviously probably wasn't expecting to get through yesterday, as he kind of alluded to in the interview earlier. His stats are good enough, and again, if you look at the rounds played, he's low, so they're only going to improve with time. And his stats there kind of prove nothing when you look at his play yesterday. He just came out all guns firing and played really well. So if he can do that again today, hopefully we'll get another match that goes to the 18th.
I always think it's a little bit of a benefit of being one of the lowest seeds. And Jacob said it when we introduced all the players as well, who was our bottom seeders. No one really pays attention to you in the sense that you aren't one of the big challengers. They're not too worried about you, and it allows you to come in and cause those upsets because the pressure's not quite on you.
I think that's the same in any activity. It can be on the European Tour, it could be in gaming, it could be in any situation when you're the underdog. Hopefully you're going to go in there and enjoy that position because, again, like you say, you've got no pressure. Just go and play your game and see what comes out.
Walk of Life, of course, is the Canadian player that Birchie has to face up against. He was the third seed when we started. He's now moved up to the second seed, obviously, because we've halved the field. Let's find out more about him.
My name is Jody Swim. I'm 33 years old from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. I've been playing WGT for 5 years. I play the game about 25 hours a week. I'd say my strength in the game is putting, and I'm going to win the tournament because I'm going to ding more than everybody else.
That is Walk of Life. We'll take a look at his stats now. Interesting one there. He says he plays 25 hours a week. So we did some maths the other day, yesterday, where a lot of these players are doing about 10 hours. So that's 2 hours a week now, but 25 hours, that's a lot of your spare time being dedicated to perfecting your in-game play.
And we saw that, I think, on day one. He was just quite solid, wasn't he? Just kind of quietly went about just hitting good shots. Stats are good, obviously puts the time in as well. Yeah, again, this one's so hard to call because of what Birchie did yesterday. He really just turned the whole tournament on its head, having that underdog come through. So it's so hard to go with those seeds and those stats after what he did. But I think we're going to see a lot of good shots from Walk of Life. He's very calm, he's calculated, he doesn't get emotionally, like, you know, he's not like Yanis was saying where it's going to affect him. I think he'll just go and play his game, and we'll see some good golf.
I do think that this game, you want to... Walk of Life is scary when it comes on the green. When he's on the green, his putting average is really good. So that's kind of where I think Birchie needs to be a little bit worried, is if the games get on there too many times, that's where Walk of Life could one-up him.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, It'd be interesting to see what course we play. If you go to St Andrews, it looks a little bit like the putting was a little bit more levelled because it wasn't so slopey. So I wonder if the course selection will have a bigger effect on that.
And that is actually what we're moving into right now, the Vita. So you can see there, Birchie has taken out Wolf Creek. So now we wait to see how else this is going to go. And
so
Walk of Life is
Andrews.
We're back to St Andrews.
Excellent. I enjoyed it.
Because Mark said he wanted to see it, so now...
Yeah.
But maybe also the fact of it is going to really come down to the strongest player taking
approach
the
play,
lead.
really, unless something happens on the greens. We saw in the other match, there's, you know, the greens don't slope as much, so these guys, as good as they are, can hold putts.
It's now time to get into it. This is our second semi-final. So you can see both our players on the screen now. Walk of Life on your left, Birchie on your right. Some sportsmanship there, shake the hands. I wonder if we'll see as much chatting today because, of course, Birchie was
the
a little bit of a chatterbox. But maybe be quiet today. You can see those head-to-head stats as well. So Walk of Life has only been playing since 2014. Birchie's got 2 more years in game on him. But it doesn't matter because Walk of Life has played more rounds. Like he said, 25 hours a day. 25 hours a week. You can't do it in a day.
That would be a massive achievement.
That's every gamer's dream, really. It's just to sit and play games all day. Mine, anyway.
I've lengthened the length of a day with this game.
Just thought I'd add a bit there. But both of these players now getting ready to get into it. The dark horse going up against the cool and calm Canadian.
He's got to be confident going into this after yesterday's win over the higher seed, I think, as well. I think he's going to be quietly looking forward to this match. But, yeah, as we saw in the last one, it came down to such small differences. Hard to call.
There you can see them on the stage, sitting in front of that $5,000 check. That is what they are playing for, as well as the title of the first European eTour champion. Let's get straight into this game now. Okay, getting ready to tee off on that first hole. We've seen this course now, so we know what they both need to do.
First hole, driving a pitch. Wind is 15 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour, down off the right. They'll knock it into that section between the burn there and then pitch on. Good drive there from Walk of Life to start his campaign.
I do think, like we mentioned this before, and it didn't quite happen on that first semi-final, is if a player starts moving up in this game, it's very difficult to catch them. And I wonder if we'll see the same as what we saw in that first semi-final, where it was all squaring out quite often, or if we're going to see a front runner just run away.
Yeah, let's see. Hard to tell, isn't it? What we are going to see, I think, is a lot of good shots, like what we saw in the last semi-final. And in that semi-final, it definitely started to feel more pressure than we were feeling yesterday. When French Connect kept coming back at F Magnets, there was definitely make or break shots. And as it pushes on through now to try and get into the final for one of these two, and this afternoon into the final.
I do think being the first European eTour that we're seeing, obviously yesterday it was the fun, it was the excitement about
didn't really know what
here.
to expect as well. I mean, I didn't, and I'm sure they didn't as well, because being the first one. So much more real today, it feels, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
now you know that money's on the line,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's now a competition.
Great shot there. Into pretty gimme distance there from Walk of Life, I think that was, yep. So Birchie's going to have to chuck his in close as well. 41 yards, 13 mile an hour, wind off the right. He's going to start this out right and bring it back. Again, from these distances we've seen, they do hit it close. Crowd's really starting to hot up now, which is good to see. Certainly, I imagine lots of the golf audience haven't seen this kind of competition before, so great meeting of the two worlds, I think, and really interesting in the VT with the two players. So just quickly here, that a conceded putt with 3 foot. Yep, that was conceded. Walk of Life is given, so I'm pretty sure then Birchie's will be given as first is, yep, conceded, all square through the first, both in birdies. With the two tour players who played the game, did you notice how both of them said they both played games when they were younger?
For sure.
So if you think about the crossover, I mean, I've seen a few comments of people, certainly in the golf world, not really quite understanding what this is. But I think when you're a bit older and maybe miss that kind of part of your life out, as in you didn't play games when you're younger, it is hard to work out. But young people picking up this game, there's absolutely a good chance that you're going to start to see a few crossovers, hopefully, into the real game, and vice versa. Because it works both ways.
I do think that a lot of the people that are coming past or possibly watching are fans of this game themselves. They don't call themselves gamers. They're fans of the World Golf Tour. 15 million people playing online. So they're definitely jumping on going, this is a game that I play every day.
You can't ignore that number. Unfortunately, sometimes the golf community choose to try and ignore that number. As in, I did some just basic research this morning. I think there's 4 million active golfers in the UK. 4 million. 15 million people playing this game. Let's communicate with them. Let's see if golf can offer them anything that entices them in to play a bit more, this game and the real thing as well. It's just a great meeting of two audiences, I think. Again, 2 good drives. Middle of the fairway for Birchie, and Walker Life was up the left side as we play. See him just further up the left there. I think he was fairway as well, though.
Moving back to your previous conversation, though, I find it fascinating because Birchie, we had him on the desk here, and he actually said, I'm not a gamer. But he plays this game 10 hours a week. He's a gamer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he doesn't see
we need to announce to him. I
yes, he's playing this because...
Give him a little gamer badge or something.
Yeah, this is his passion. Golf is his passion, and obviously not everyone can be on the course every weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is a great alternative.
Well, I always think as well, when people are watching my content, golf content, at work in the evenings, because they can't play golf, this isn't actually that dissimilar. This is golf content, just consumed in a different way. I absolutely see crossovers if you just got to kind of look outside the box a little bit more. So that was a big bounce. Did you see the second shot there? That kicked off that downslope and just run through. That wasn't the landing spot you would want. So Walker Life definitely with a slight advantage now, going in from 96 yards. Wind down 19 to 21, so the wind staying consistent down off the right. Birchie basically hit the downslope on the green and shot through.
I don't think Birchie was too happy with that shot.
No,
you saw him shaking his head.
I'm
Wasn't
sure
what he was looking for.
So Walker Life's real name, Jody Swim. I do have to say that it's still my favourite name I think I've ever heard. I would have chose that as my screen name. It's just a cool name.
When you spot Jody Swim on World Golf Tour in the next few weeks, then please know that it is in fact the real Mark Cross.
So he's thrown that a bit further, so he's hit the flatter part and it's stopped. Good shot from Walker Life, certainly with Birchie off the back there. He just needed to get that within a holeable distance.
I don't know what happened.
So we've got a little bit of a technical issue.
It's a little bit of a tech issue going down right now. This has been known to
That doesn't
happen.
happen on the real golf course.
This doesn't happen on the real golf course, but it happens sometimes in game. That's just I suppose on the real golf course it would be if your golf carts had a flat battery in the middle of
we've
the
had
course.
that, and we've had to push it, and then they're really heavy because they're full of batteries, so you just take your stuff off and start walking because you can't push them.
So imagine that your there we go.
That.
This is what's happened. The golf cart's battery has gone flat, but that's not to worry. So here's where this is going to be an interesting one, because obviously Birchie, it was very clear that he was probably going to go one down on there, and now it gives him a little bit of a breather while they sort that out. And Walk of Life has to kind of keep his wits about him. Even though it's still early in the course, these big pauses can sometimes change the flow of a game.
Oh, well, one of the competitors mentioned it earlier, I think it was Yanis. It's a flow. The game flows, there's a rhythm, you've got to keep your head, and this is obviously going to affect their rhythm and their flow. I mean, they're good enough. I reckon they could go and sit down, have a cup of tea and come back. Because I'm sure when they play at home, they don't
We're
have to play
We're going to go straight into the game, actually. I'm just going to interrupt you, Mark, because we are back online.
Lovely. Right, Birchie with his shot from over the back of the second, still at all square, half the first in birdies.
Mark, when they're at home and these things happen, they just get to rage at their computers.
Well, I guess as well when they're at home, they don't have the time limit, do they? They can just play a shot and let it sit, I guess.
In some cases,
if they're playing on their own. Good shot from Birchie there. He tried to hole it, but not quite there. Good effort. So we've got first blood could be drawn here. Walker Life got a putt from 8.6 feet, breaking to his left, our right, as we look at that screen, to go one up.
Shaking his head there.
Just doing his calculations. I think both of these players, are they non-calculator players? I think they're both eyeballing it. Or do we have a calculator up there? I don't think we do we?
No calculators, but there are some paper. So this is some of the things that they're allowed.
Notes.
They're allowed their course notes. They're also allowed some paper and pen notes, which I see Walk of Life has in front of him. And then obviously their calculators as well. Those printout notes obviously checked by the officials beforehand.
Just to go one up, but that's not his best part, so that's a bit low. So they stay at all square. I'm not sure if Birchie is given or not. Let's have a look. He's 3.1 feet. Yep, that's been conceded, and I'm sure Walker Life's putt's conceded as well, so we're all square after 2. Oh yeah, Walker Life has serious notes going on there, doesn't he?
So pretty much like the course notes we saw yesterday in-game that you're able to go to, that'll be various similar course notes that he'll then be able to look at. But obviously, like I said, needed to be printed out, checked beforehand by the officials.
Are they ones he's created?
I do believe those are the ones that he's created, yes.
Oh, they look very posh, like they're all printed out and all neat. Mine would just be like scribbled on scraps of paper.
And this may be why you're not in the top 8 players for the European eTour.
Yeah, that probably is the reason. Right, third hole, 397 yards into the wind. 15 mile an hour to 17 into the wind, slightly off the right. Again, look where they're driving. You can't see the fairway. You have to use that map on the right because you're just staring at gorse, basically. 2 good shots into the fairway. Again, side by side, so even on the driving for these good players. It comes down to those approach shots and then in turn the putting, but if you dial it back, it really comes down to those approach shots because the putting is easier the closer you get. So 118 yards, obviously still playing into that 15, 17 mile an hour wind. Birchie with the honour to go slightly further away, gives him the honour to play first. Can he put the pressure on? That's a good shot. This is where we saw a hold shot, I think, in the first. Was it this hole? Was it 1-4? But that is a great shot, almost landing in the hole. Definitely going to make Walker Life have to now hit a good approach. Not much crosswind, more of a headwind here. So Walker Life to play. Our little box on the left just hasn't quite gone up yet, but if you look at the top, you can see it's highlighting Walker Life there to hit the shot. Good shot as well, a little bit on the left side, bit of putting to do there. I'm not sure if Birchie's is given or not, it'll be close, but Walker Life definitely going to have to hold his putt. So breaking to his right, off our left as we look from this reverse angle. There it goes, as he looks from both sides, as he just tries to gauge the slope and his aim in relationship to that slope. It's an 11-foot putt. Remember, these greens aren't as slopey as what we saw day 1, so good chance we'll see some of these hold. Struck it as he lined it up. Yeah, well hold, Walker Life, good putt.
He's got to be kicking himself a little bit if he goes back to that second hole because he could have gone one up.
Yeah,
and on this
he would have
particular
wanted to hold
course,
that
you
one.
want that. So I think at
That's
this moment in
conceded.
time, there's got to be a little bit of frustration with yourself there. And how do you overcome that when you're at the start of the game?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's hard, isn't it? You've just got to get on and play through it. So he tapped that in. It wasn't conceded, sorry. 5-foot putts. They've halved that in birdie. Stay at all square, I think we are. Moving on to the next hole. This is nip and tuck at the minute. So we're on to the fourth, par 4, 485 yards. They're playing, obviously, from what would be the tournament tees if you were to actually go and play this course. It's from the blocks, right from the back. Good drive.
Oh, that's quite a bounce.
Gets a big bounce. But fairway found, that's all you need to be doing on these shots, finding that fairway.
should have paid closer attention where you hit it.
Here, Birchie there trying to see where that big bounce was coming from. So he can land it in the same spot and then try and gain that same advantage with the kick. Wind down and off the right, 13 to 15 miles an hour. That's a ding. You can see the double fairway here, so the hole on the right there as we looked in the aerial is the other hole coming back. Again, this course goes out, little loop, and then comes back in reality. So out of bounds, always down the right going out, and then always on the right coming back. It's an amazing strip of land. 146 yards into the pin, same wind, 13 to 15 mile an hour down off the right. Birchie to play first. See how far forward Walk of Life is there. Look at his ball. Look. You could literally wave back at Birchie with that one, couldn't you? That's a bomb ball up there. That's a ding. Calculations in place. Are we seeing it close? Yeah. So this green's got a bit of slope on it. It's not as close as I think he wanted that. Looked good in the air.
Looked like a good shot, but obviously not what Birchie had in store.
wanted
We've said
better.
this before, though, when these gents play this game, they've obviously played these courses a lot. They know where they kind of want to set it up and place their balls to get the best possible shots at the end of the hole.
Absolutely. They know these places inside out, don't they? It's impressive to see. They're even knowing where to land it for the slopes. It's quite impressive. 116 yards, so noticeably further forward. You see how big of a bounce that tee shot got. Hitting his pitching wedge, that's another ding, and that's what Walk of Life said he was all about, the dings. Very good shot. And again, slight advantage there, possibly by having less club into that green, could stop it, chuck it his distance. He only had a wedge with that big drive. So, feeling like this has to go in or we're going to have our first blood taken in this second semi-final. Only the fourth hole, so we've got loads of time still to go, but this is still an important putt for Birchie. He knows this has to go in. 13 feet. You can see him aiming it out to our left as we look there, so it's his right as he plays it. It'll break to the left. Foot, as it's not high enough.
Going right past there.
So could we see the first down? How close was Walk of Life here?
We know, though, that Walk of Life's
3.3
strong in his putting game, so this is going to be something that I'm pretty confident he's going to be able to get in.
So we're seeing it, 3.3 feet, has to tap it in. Birchie wants it hold. And it was. Good three there, Walk of Life, well played. The other semi-finalists watching on.
If Magnus is going to be watching this game closely.
Do you reckon he's got a preference for who he wants to meet in the final?
I'm sure he does.
We should get him up here to do some commentary and see if he can see if he's sort of sided to
who he wants to go against. I don't know if he wants to let that go in the middle of a game.
They're just all a bit friendly, you see. I want a bit of needling going on. 5-5-2, par 5. Wind is, what is that wind into off the right? Yes. No, down, sorry. Down off the left. Drive at 344 yards using the slope and the wind there to send it down on this par 5. Birchie's tee shot again, same hole. Obviously, he's one down. This is a par 5. Good chance Eagle's going to take it on this one because they will reach it in this wind. Good drive. Again, look, chasing on through the slope. Very good. Again, another serious semi, isn't it?
It's one of those nerve-wracking ones as well because I think it is really close to call. Much like I really did feel with the F Magnets and the French Collects semi-final that it wasn't going to be as clear-cut, which we saw, obviously. And I do think that if anyone's going to be able to move it back to all square, it'll be Birchie.
Yeah, absolutely. He's quieter today, isn't he?
He is much quieter.
Lost his chat. Maybe a few too many beers last night. A little bit of an headache.
little bit of a headache or just focusing on the money.
Good shot.
Nice one.
Yeah, good shot there from Walker Life. A little acknowledgement there from Birchie. So that's going to put a bit more pressure on Birchie now to play the good shot at the right time.
I don't think I can stop it like this. With
Oh,
balls.
there we go. The chat's back. I like it when they're chatting. So he doesn't think he can stop it. He's saying 181 yards, and it's 13, 15 mile an hour downwind. Slightly off the left, but pretty much straight down. Using a 6-iron. Just not a ding, but is that an intentional not a ding? It's a good shot. Is it going to stop? That's what he was worried about. There's a slope there. Are we going to come back off that slope, or was he stuck? Oh, get down there. No, I think he's just gone over on top level.
See that view.
No, but it was a shitty distance for me.
So he was struggling to control that. He said that, didn't he? He was going to struggle to stop that.
Not a great shot,
Pressure on
though.
at 1 down for Birchie now because Walker Life is in there quite close. And look at that putt. It's a 56-foot putt. I mean, we've not seen any putts hold from that kind of length this week, or in the last 2 days.
See Birchie off to the side of his camera doing the calculations, though, because he probably realizes that he can't afford to go down more,
2
especially
down
here
here.
in St. Andrews.
And Walker Life, he's like a silent assassin, isn't he? He just goes around hitting good shots. He was like it yesterday, just quietly went about hitting good shots. So big breaker, downhill, he's using the slope. It's a very good effort.
Oh, it's right on line.
Oh, good effort, Birchie. Just needed a bit more. So that means Walker Life has another putt to go 2 up for Eagle on the 5th, 11 foot. He's on the flatter part of the green. You can see it is still breaking, but nothing like what Birchie was just coming down. This is a big putt. Yeah, that's middle cut. Very good eagle there from Walker Life. Goes 2 up.
This is really a play, I think, and we said it before, but you have to showcase it now. Walk of Life, when it comes to those putts, it's not the position you want to find yourself in against him because...
He's a machine.
He is a machine.
He's a putting machine. That was a good putt. 400-yard par 4 wind, 20 mile an hour averaging off the right. So they're going to start it over right-hand rough, bring it back, middle of fairway, good shot.
Best putting average out of the 8 players.
Has he?
Walk of Life, so we know that...
He's the man on the greens.
He's the man on the greens, so you want to try and avoid allowing him to have that opportunity to showcase that because, as Birchie's now experienced, you're going to go 2 down.
Yeah. Right, what's Birchie got? Can he find that form from yesterday? That's the big question now. At 2 down, don't want to go 3. We did see French Connect earlier get back from 2 down, didn't we? But 2 good drives, almost touching. Great 2 drives. Bit more run on Birchie's. Again, on the middle of the fairway.
So this is interesting. The lady that you see on the camera right now, that is Walk of Life's mom.
Hello there.
She's here.
Hello there. Thanks for coming.
Watching her son play. I'm sure she's feeling the nerves as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Bet she loved being on camera then. Bet she loved that. 68 yards. Wind 20 off the right. Aiming out to the right, bringing it back on the breeze. Lots of golfers looking around. Great shot there from Walker Life. Lots of golfers now in the tent, having a look, seeing what it's all about. It's great to see again. Mixture of those crowds. Right, pressure again back onto Birchie. Walker Life is literally not letting go, is he?
We've mentioned it before. We'll mention it again. St. Andrews, once you go 2 up, it's very difficult to chase that.
Good shot from Birchie, though. Spinning it back. That might be 2 gimmies. It was a good shot needed at the right time. Let's see how far. 3.8 feet for Walk of Life. And we conceded, so I'm pretty sure Birchie's closer, so his will be conceded as well. Stays at 2. Yep, conceded. So we move on to the 7th hole. 2 down for Birchie, 2 up Walk of Life. Very solid player, Walk of Life. Hitting some good shots, not making really any mistakes and holding a putt when it matters. So 368-yard par 4, down off the right wind. Probably going to get it close to this one, I'm guessing, guys. Maybe on. Not quite a ding. Oh, this is the one you got to just avoid that bunker. Yeah, so they're going to be pitching on. Good drive. That is a huge bunker there, isn't it? You don't want to be going in that fella there. There's one of the fans. Stroke. That's a volunteer as well. Obviously, the course, the tournament's supported by loads of volunteers. The actual Made in Denmark event out there. All these events only really work with the amazing work the volunteers do, helping people know where to stand and when to be quiet and the rest of it out on the course. 85 yards into the flag. 7th hole, 2 down for Birchie. Needs to get this, sticking it in close. You can see Walker Life's board literally right next to his, so they're going to have a very similar shot. And there's a good chance Walker Life is going to do what he's been doing all morning. All afternoon now. We're the afternoon now? What time is it?
We're in the afternoon now, Mark.
Just how I lose time when we're just in the gaming world. That's a ding. Calculations correct. Yes. Good shot,
really
Birchie. Very good.
I think I need to win
there from our finalist, F.
if I
Magnets.
want to have any chance here.
So a little bit of pressure now applied back to Walker Life. He knows what he's got to do. He's done it loads of times before, but he's now going to be asked to do it now. There's that stat just backing up his putting average that you mentioned earlier. He dinged that, didn't he? Ah, it's a good shot as well. Just working in on the slope. Great shot. And that's what it's like, isn't it? That's proper, competing. You've got to hit the shot at the right time, and he does it. 2.6 feet. I'm sure that'll be conceded. It was the Walk of Life, so that means Birchie is closer. So it's going to stay at 2. Halved in birdies. They keep making birdies. How do you get back?
So we now get French Connect. Of course, we just saw him, unfortunately, knocked out of the semi-finals, but fortunately for us, jumping in to do some commentating with us. So French Connect, recovered from the disappointments, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm doing all right now.
Welcome.
Welcome to our little commentating booth. So let's take a look now. How do you think this game's going to go? You've obviously been watching as they've been going on. Do you think there is a firm favorite in one of the players?
It's hard to say. I mean, I would definitely give it to Joe right now, Walk of Life. He's got the 2-up lead, and yeah, I mean,
hard to get back when
really
he's solid, isn't he, Walk of Life? He's not making any mistakes, is he?
Yeah, it's tough when your opponent doesn't make any or many mistakes.
Have you played against Walk of Life before?
Yes, only once, though. Yep.
Okay.
He is a tough opponent, as is all the players that have made it this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's a really good player here, so.
It's 181-yard par 3.
Ooh, they got the other pin. They got the front pin.
Okay, so the pin's moved.
Yep. Yeah, they don't. No, not all of them, but there's 2 pins for every hole on this course, and it kind of just gets staggered. I think for the most part, sometimes they'll do the 1 pin.
Yeah.
So they might be playing some of the pins we played, but not all of them.
So 13 to 15 mile an hour off the right.
Yep.
Wind aiming out to the right to bring it back for Birchie.
Yeah, this is a good one to either ding it or just on the right side.
Okay.
On my par 3s, unfortunately, I missed on just the wrong side.
Saw that,
catches the slope and
off it
runs
goes.
away a little bit.
That's a great shot, is it not?
Yep, that's beautiful.
Good shot. So he's inside Walk of Life, so there's a chance here. There is a chance.
Yep.
We need this game going back to 1 down. Otherwise, I can see Walker Life just quietly closing it out at 2 up the way he's playing.
I think we did see those stats, though, from Walk of Life when he's on the screen. You just can't underestimate. He's the putting king.
He is the putting machine. In a 20-foot putt, though, we haven't seen many long putts hold in the last 2 days. I guess it's just harder as it is in real golf the further away you are.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are so good that we're leaving them inside of 20
yeah,
generally.
so we're not getting that many.
And if
yeah,
we're off the green, we chip it gimme or close, you know.
Yeah.
This one is going to look good. He hit the ding.
Got it.
Wow.
Just missed
that is unlucky.
Commentator's curse. I called him the putting king.
Yeah, that was a good effort, though. So Birchie now has a chance.
Yep, and he's got it's a downhiller. It's a little bit of break, but it's always a little tougher to hit the downhillers.
Just under 9 foot, a little harder on the down hitters, French Connect saying there. And this needs to go in. Let's get back to 1 and make this a game.
Yep.
Birchie knows that.
Yep, he's going to focus.
It's a ding. Has he done his calculations?
Yep,
it looks
that's
good.
beautiful. Dead center.
Good too. A good time there for Birchie. Absolutely needed. That was very good. That's going to make him feel like he's much back more in this match. So happy with that, definitely. 347-yard par 4, 9th hole. 20-mile-an-hour wind off the right, averaging out there. See him starting it near the right rough, just curling back to the fairway. And again, we can get close to this one with the right kick. Would they reach today or not?
Not with that side
Not
wind,
with that
unless, yeah, I mean, you'd really have to maybe hit one of those humps over there and get a crazy kick.
Yeah.
I think it's
gonna
the
be
equipment just will get you pretty much that far. If you have a little bit of a tailwind, you can run it up there. You only need maybe 6 miles per hour of tailwind, and you can potentially get it on the front edge there.
Yeah. Again, same start direction pretty much. Walker Life curving it back with the wind and just move it back into the fairway again. They're going to be very close to each other, those two.
Yep, they're both on the fairway. They're both at a good yardage where they can hit a shot that it's going to have a chance to go in. Yeah, they're both looking to hold
So they would be
shot.
feeling if they could hold this.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. They'll both be disappointed if if they don't either pull it or leave it really close because they're that good.
Yeah, 24 yards. Again, same wind. But I guess that wind now has less an effect because you're closer.
Yes, yep, the closer you get, but you can
Still
see how
aiming
he's
it to
still
the
aiming
right.
out. Yeah, 50-yard shot, you'd go a lot further, and then 100 yards, you just got to keep
moving it.
factoring that in.
So Birchie to play first.
See, look at that. That's
good shot.
Very nice.
So those notes there for Walker Life, have you seen his notepad?
No, I'd like to see it.
Yeah,
I think I could learn a few things from it.
I wondered if that kind of stuff was shared. He's got literally like a 4-page book next to him.
I like how he sets it up for himself, so it's really easy for him to just look at. He's got all his information there, and off he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got their own either little notes
few beers tonight, and then just go, that notepad. And oh, yeah, have a look, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, so you can see Birchie was in there to gimme distance.
Right,
so unless this goes in, they're moving on to the back 9 at 1.
But see, they both left it,
Good
they
shot.
both gave it a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two really good shots there.
So we're through 9 holes. Are they both conceded? Let's have a look. 3.7 foot for Walker Life, so we might see this tapped in.
I think it's just outside the range there.
Yeah. No, it was conceded.
All right.
Birchie's
I
feeling
take that
friendly
back.
today. And Walker Life's will be given, Birchie's will be given because he was basically stone dead. So we now move into the back 9, stays at 1.
Showing those notes off again. There you saw them on the left-hand side, all set up and ready to go.
Yeah, look at them. Yeah, hard to call going into the back 9, isn't it? At 1, I'm glad at 2, it was looking like hard, but at 1 down, there's still, the odd hold second shot or a really good putt here or there. This could still go either way.
Yep.
366 yards, par 4, wind off the left now.
Birchie's got to be feeling confident, though, that he was able to get it to one down, especially on the back nine like this, because it gives him more of an opportunity. I don't think he would have felt as confident. Mind you, I say that French Connect, I'm pretty sure you came into the back nine down too.
You were king of the clawbacks today, weren't you?
Clawed it back.
Yeah.
That was good play.
Ultimately just fell short, but hey.
It was a good game though this morning. That was tense. It was really good. There was some proper, for me just watching that, there was some juices
there weren't many
flowing.
Holes where we tied, it was pretty back and forth.
It was good. It was a good match.
Yeah, I think the pressure kind of can mount a little bit, and you can just be a little bit off where you know. I mean, Magnets played amazing. I think he shot. They were saying a 52, which is
that what he shot? Was it
20 under par?
Yeah. Ouch.
So yeah, that's the type of round that's going to get you a win.
On, yeah, absolutely.
Getting back into the semi-final note here on the eTour, $5,000. You think that? I mean, you've been in one of these semi-finals now. Does that start riding in the back of your head when you are close to winning? You think this is it? I'm one step closer to that final, or are you just focusing on the game?
Just focusing on the game. The spotlight that we're in, anyways, kind of gives me a little bit of nerves. So I'm trying to. That's probably more of what's factoring in. I think if I had made it to the finals and on the back nine of the finals, I would start to think about the prize. But right now, enough other things on my mind, trying to make sure playing well. And
good shot from Birchie there on 10, I think we are. Knocked it in pretty close. So we're Walker Life's go now. He's 65 yards, very similar distance. He's going to be wanting to hit it close. You can see him aiming off to the left. 15, 17 mile an hour wind off the left. There's slope there? Nope. So we're going to have to...
That shouldn't be too bad of a spot there.
Really?
He wanted the ding, though. He wanted the ding because that would have been within a yard of the pin there.
Ice cream. It's freezing out there, boys.
It's freezing cold, it's raining. But those gents have their ice creams and their eSports.
Where are their parents?
Where's the flake? He's got a flake, the other guy. He's ordered the right one. Come on, let's get tight on that. Right, 10th hole, 8.9 feet. Off his... moving to his right, off his left, but very gentle slope that, isn't it? Not a huge breaker. Needs to go in for Walk of Life. And there it is.
Yep, well done.
That's the putting Sam's been talking about. He's not afraid of old putts, is he?
No, he is.
So 3.5 feet for Birchie given, absolutely.
Yep.
Mum
it was
watching
a straight
on.
one. If it was a bendy one, maybe not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, we saw that yesterday, I think, with your match, wasn't it, against Golf X3 on Wolf Creek, where there was some big
Wolf
slopes
Creek
on the small ones.
It's hard to get gimmies on Wolf Creek.
Tell me about it.
There's not many good spots to have a flat putt there.
I putted off the green.
These greens are, even though they're a little humpy bumpy or whatever, there's a lot
flat
more
in spots.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So 180 yard par 3. We're straight down the wind, slightly off the right now. 14 to 16 mile an hour. We're turning to go back towards the clubhouse. One up still, or one down, sorry, for Birchie. One up still for Walker Life. Not a bad shot at all.
Yep. That's a good one. That's a good spot there because it's
Ding's
below.
better.
It's a little right to left up the hill there, but anytime you have an uphill putt, you'd much prefer that than a side hill breaker or downhill putt. They're just that much harder.
Just a big reminder, if you've just jumped in and you're wondering how this particular semi-final goes down, if they're all squared when we hit the 18th hole, carrying on with the ice cream there, if they're all squared when they hit the 18th hole...
He's one up on that ice cream.
He's one up on the ice cream, but all squared at the 18th hole, it goes to sudden death.
So they play the first again.
They play the first again and go to sudden death.
And then anyone joining as well with the golf rules, obviously they're playing a golf game, so it's consistent with real golf rules. Walk Life is one up now. If he was 2 up with 1 hole to go, they would finish. That would be a 2-1 win, so they play to the holes they've got left, subject to the score. So 2 good approaches here, Birchie. So Walker Life hit it inside Birchie there, did he?
Yes, yep. He has not very downhill, but...
Slightly different break.
Yeah, yep. This one you can hit a little bit with more confidence. The other one you might want to... We'll have to see exactly.
Birchie needed
that. Was a great putt.
Very good.
French Connect, for someone who's at home, who plays World Golf Tour a lot or is familiar with the game and suddenly wants to get competitive, I mean, to get to tournaments at this level, what sort of work do you have to put in the game? What level do you need to be at? How much time do they need to give up?
A good amount. It takes a few years, I think, to get good at this game. When I first started, the equipment wasn't as well. There's a good putt. Very nice. The equipment wasn't quite as good when I first started, so it took me a little bit longer, I think, to get good and to the level I'm at now. It took 4 years at least of playing, but
that learning curve is important, though, isn't it?
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it means you're more invested in your hobby, isn't it? You know, if it was easy from the start, it would be not as much fun. I mean, that's the beauty of what these games can do, I guess.
Yep.
In game, though, I mean, the best way to improve is it to hit up some of the better players and ask them for tips? And,
absolutely. Yep, that's definitely the best way. Take your own notes, or at least for me personally, I think taking notes really helps me, just because I can't remember every shot to every hole. Every hole plays a little different, and it's good to know which wind directions are going to affect the ball a little bit more, and where the downslopes are, and just experience is key for this game.
So 339 par 4, stays at 1 up for Walk of Life. 14-mile-an-hour wind down off the right. Oh, that's in the fescue.
That's the first one I think we've seen in the fescue.
Yeah. So what's that going to affect your second shot?
Excited.
This is exciting for Mark.
So do we see? Yeah. Look. So look at the graphic on the right now. So his lie is that saying 50?
Yep.
50 to 60% lie.
So he's going to struggle to control this, or is he just so good he can still control this? What?
I mean, he's really good, so I wouldn't be surprised if he can get it on the green within 5 or so yards.
Oh.
But I mean,
it's antisocial.
It's going to be it's going to be really tough, I think.
I see there, though, this is the first time we've seen this from Walk of Life. He's actually shuffling through some of his papers now and his notes.
Yeah, because there's so many different types of lies.
And
50,
he doesn't
60,
know. You hear
60,
that?
70, 30, 40, and it's not just fescue. There's bunker lies.
You boys hit the blooming fairway
mulch.
so much, I'm surprised you know how to play out the fescue.
It's good to know how to do it, though, when you need it.
Yeah, so look, he has struggled. If that was on the fairway...
He's got the slope behind it there, so you can use that.
Yeah,
and
that's
bring
a
it
good
back.
shot from there, then, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
That's not a bad shot,
nice
Walk of Life from there.
I would have been totally lost.
What did he say?
I would have been totally lost from there.
Yeah.
That's why notes, I think, are key, because you can kind of say,
I don't have a note.
See how much the shot you want to add to it, and then you kind of base it off of that.
You need to make a new note there, Walk of Life, please. You've got a little pencil entry into that.
I do think that Walk of Life actually just said he didn't have a note for that.
Yeah, he's going to need a new one.
Now you can add a note.
He might have just made a complete guess. But like with how the green is set up there with the hump behind it, as long as you get it to the hole.
Bit of a backboard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's easy to leave it short though and not make it to the green, because it's one of those ones where you don't know.
So Birchie needs now to put the boot in. He needs to get this close, so Walk of Life needs to hold apart. 26 yards, you'd expect him to get this close.
Yeah, I expect this really close. Yep, that was a superb shot.
Yeah, good shot.
I couldn't get the next edge of the meter somehow.
So this needs to go in to stay at 1 up to Walk of Life. Otherwise, we've got a little swinger back to all square. Just what we want on the 12th.
The putting king.
Yeah,
no pressure on him, but now that has to come into play.
He needs to pull on that skill now, doesn't he?
I think he deals with the pressure well, so I expect him to
He's pretty level-headed, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Loads of fans now coming in for their lunch and their ice creams, late lunch after watching the golf. Oh, this is on the high side.
That was a great putt.
Unlucky. So that should be a gimme for Birchie, I think. Are we a free foot, actually?
I would think so,
it's conceded, so we're back to all square through 12.
Yep.
We have a match on our hands. This is very exciting.
Yep.
So Birchie doing what he's been doing in his both matches. He doesn't care what seed he's playing, does he?
Breathing a sigh of relief there, I think, because this is about the time you want it all square. I think he was caring a little up until now, but now it's all to play for again.
Yeah, 440-yard par 4, 13th hole. Fairway needs to be found.
So this one, we got the other pin this time on this hole, with the right pin. So it'll be good to see the difference of how they play.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got a steep down slope in front of it.
Oh, so you could shoot through if you don't land it in the right place. That kind of idea.
Exactly. I'd say, yeah, the other pin position is a lot easier.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah, you
if
had
you
all
know
the
the
good wins
shots,
and
you
all the
can hit
good
them
pin
well.
positions.
Yeah.
You can put them close.
Yeah. 2 good drives again, very similar, just a little bit further on there for Walker Life. He got over that slope, I think, and pushed it on forwards. And again, middle of the fairway. So 168 yards for Birchie. Wind off the left. 12 to 14, some of the calmer wind that we've seen all morning.
I think this is somewhat of an ideal wind for this shot because the slope that goes down the hill is coming in from the right side.
So it could help it push it in.
Yep, you can hit it out to the left. Yep, you can almost kind of see the slope.
And ride it in on the slope.
Or if you have a headwind, you can stop it. You can try to shoot it a little deep and it'll stop quick.
Yeah.
It's when you have a tailwind or the wind coming off from the right side, it's a lot trickier of a shot. But
yeah.
It's still a difficult pin position regardless. It's got a good line. Oh, that's beauty.
Great shot. Yeah, very good. Birchie trying to make his move. He's got back to all square. Be interesting to see Walker Life's how he responds to that little bit of pressure. Obviously being up all for the rest of the match is a different position to now being all square to him. I feel slightly like being down a little bit.
I do think that this is where it gets exciting. If we reach that sudden death moment, it is going to come down to the mental game.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's going to force someone to make a mistake under pressure.
Oh, another great shot
there.
there.
Yeah, great ding that. I mean, that's what he's about, isn't it? Great shot.
Saying that, for now, it seems that both these players handle the pressure quite well.
Yes.
See, with that wind, we weren't able to see the downslope there, but that was because they were able just to fly right over that. If you had a tailwind, that's just, you almost want to play it out either far to the left or to the right if you can. And there's a slope that it might come back from.
So 8.4 feet for Walker Life. Feels like this has got to go in.
Yeah,
hold it. Great putt. God, his putting stats are going through the roof today, aren't they?
But he has had two misses that I feel like maybe shouldn't have happened.
Wow.
I do think it was a bit of a commentator's curse because I called in the putting king both times before that happened.
So well, the 15-footer he missed, I wouldn't, you know, that was, there's no
I'm not taking blame for that.
I expected him to make it because of how good he is, but...
So stays at all square, moving on to 14. We are running out of holes. Who's going to make the move first? This is, again, getting nice and close and nice and tense. Is that thunder?
No, that's ominous music.
I know it is.
I was ready to duck.
I never know with you, Mark. Sometimes I'm curious about where your head's at.
No one knows with me. That's the point of me, I think. 591 yard par 5, but they will reach this one with that wind into.
Oh, absolutely.
Because your match, you couldn't reach this one because it was into, I think. Is that right?
Yes. Oh, sorry. What was the question?
When you played this one, you couldn't reach this hole, could you? Because it was into where this one's down.
With
now.
this wind, you can go over the back of the screen.
Yeah.
And they actually have the other pin position. This pin position is a lot more accessible than the other one, where you really have to be precise when you have a tailwind because you have to go up the hill and then back down it. Where this one, you go up it and the green, where it's a lot more level where the pin is there.
I feel a little bit like Mum's going to move seats in a minute.
I think that our cameramen they've picked up that they can see the nerves because she's watching her son, and you can clearly tell that she's
Walker Life
obviously
doesn't give us
invested.
much, so I think we go to Mum to get the emotions that we might be feeling.
But now Mum's trying to run away from the cameraman, so all that fun goes on behind us. Let's get back into the semi-final.
Yep, but yes, here
267 then, so they can reach.
They're not even hitting 3-wood.
Yeah, 3-iron is what he's choosing. Yeah, so
because the humps
wind,
and the bumps, they'll kick it.
Shoot it on.
The links.
Yeah, absolutely. So Birchie to play first, all square, wants to get this in as close as he can.
Fuck.
Oh. Do we bleep them out or
He
not?
is not happy. Nah, this is eSports, man. We'll show that emotion. Not 100% happy with that shot, and you can see why.
Yep, it's a tough one because you really need to control the distance properly. Like I said, even with I think even with the 3-iron, if you're not careful, you can kick it over the back, and there's some rough back there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So will Walk of Life take advantage of that slightly loose second shot there from Birchie?
5 holes to go. He needs to take advantage. That's what has to happen now if he wants a spot in that final. You can't afford to not abuse your opponent's mistakes, for want of a better term, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're all square at the minute. Obviously, playing match play, you don't want to let holes go. If someone was to get 2 up but only 1 hole left, they wouldn't play the 18th. But obviously, if they're all square going up the last, they will play it. And if they're still all square, then they will
That's
play
unlucky,
sudden death.
If he lands just a little bit short of that, that's going to
shoot
kick
on.
Oh, yeah, yep. And that would have, I think that distance control would have been really good there.
So I feel a little bit like Birchie. He's going to sigh a little bit of relief there.
Big sigh of relief, I think.
That one.
Oh, yeah. I think he just
do a sigh,
attested to
Birchie.
it.
Show me a sigh. No,
he just did.
Did he? Good man. Sorry, I missed it. Thank you. Thank you.
But again, just like the 9th hole, I think they're both looking to make this shot, or obviously
very
leave it
close,
to
if not a gimme.
Yep. Oh yeah. I think they'll both be gimmies, but
so 24
anything
yards.
can happen. But
it's a
when you're as good as these guys are, they're looking to hold these.
Yeah. He dinged it. Birchie on trying to knock it in.
That's a good one.
It's close.
Yep.
So Walk of Life, it's an outside chance, but it's a chance to go 1 up. Everything now, like you cannot make a mistake now at this part of the game on 14. We're running out of holes, and any mistake with these players at this level will just be punished.
I like how he leaves the camera view like this, so you can
really see it go in.
See, but that tailwind, it's a little
Just
tougher
shoots
to.
on.
Yep.
So 2 good shots there. 5 foot. We're going to see some putting still.
Neither one of them was going to take the conservative route there and
going for it.
leave it short.
Okay.
That was the key. They were both looking to hold that, so that's why they went a little long there. But they're both in good spots to make their birdies.
Walk of Life's putting is just like monotonously good, isn't it?
Yep. But I expect Birchie will make this too.
Not much slope there, is there?
Nope, not too much in it. It's all about getting the right speed, the right line, and dead in.
Good putt.
Good birdie.
Stays at all square. Nothing divides them at the moment. And we are moving on to, what are we on to now? 16th?
We'll find out in a little bit. I think you may have missed a hole, but let's just check.
Sorry, yeah, on to the 15th. Sorry.
I didn't want to correct you, but be
You
wrong
correct
on,
me all
on
your
my
life.
stream.
It's not the real Mark, so you don't have to do that. It's not the real
Mark Crossfield anyway.
It's not the real Mark Crossfield, so you can correct him as much as you want.
Okay, all right. Another fairway, beautiful drive there.
Very good. 459 par 4. Wind off the left. 15 to 17 miles an hour.
This one can actually be a tricky driving hole, especially with a crosswind, because if you see how the fairway does narrow down right before where the ball lands. And then there's some bunkers, there's fescue, so.
That's another ding from Walk of Life.
It's one of the thinner fairways on the course.
Yeah. Good drive again, 2 good drives. All square on the 15th, not the 16th, you two. Thank you very much.
This is where I'm sure both these players now, they're going to start getting a little bit antsy, because obviously the winner gets to move into the final antsy. It means that you're going to get a little bit nervous.
Does it? I like that. That's what I guessed.
Pretty sure my gran used that word, and that's where I got it from. I don't know how cool that makes me, but it is antsy. You start getting a little bit nervous. You don't want, no one wants to go into a sudden death, because I do feel like after you've played as hard as both these players have played throughout the last 2 days, sudden death is an awful way to
go out. The other thing with sudden death to think about is because they're so evenly matched, we could have literally 12 holes of sudden death. If we're
that's an amazing shot right there.
Yeah, great shot.
Walk of Life trying to show us that maybe that won't happen.
Yeah, I'm just going to stiff it here, thanks, and we don't have to have extra holes. So 124 yards out, wind off the left for Birchie. He knows Walk of Life is in there tight. He's given pretty much in his head already. I think that was gimme distance. That's a ding. He needs to hit a good shot. The calculations in place. They need to be at this time of the event.
Yep, that'll release. That's a good one,
Two good shots. One's definitely given. I'm not sure if the other one is. We'll find out in a second as they move up to the green.
Yep, he'll have a little bit of work.
Yeah, a bit of
much,
meat on the
but a little
bone, I
bit.
think, as you said yesterday. When he's going to break it, just moving to his right, you can see there. Not taking all the time in the
well
world. He's
done.
pretty confident there. Good putt.
Yeah, just try to get it over with.
I think
Just
I
get
have one so many
get
times.
it over with. Can't be nervous if you do it fast. So, we are still all square, aren't we?
We are.
Still
And
square.
now, which hole are we going to?
16th. Yay! I knew that was going to come at some point, that hole. 423 yards, par 4. 15 to 17 mile an hour down off the right wind. Birchie still with the honour. Nothing separating these two after 15 holes played. That's a good drive. Fairway found. You can see the hotel in the distance there, heading back towards the hotel because the road hole's going to
That's how you know you're
separate
getting
them.
down to the final holes when you can see the clubhouse
Yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the famous
buildings, at least,
clubhouse.
yep.
Oh, Walk of Life just dings, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He dings it. He said it in his VT, and he just does it, the ding, doesn't he?
He doesn't miss it.
That's amazing. We should have a ding count. Like, you know, in tennis, they have an ace count.
We actually do have a ding
Do
count.
we have a discount,
Yeah.
a ding count for this tournament so far?
Yes.
Who's
Yep.
got the most dings? Do we know?
Well, you'd have to go. if you.
So we can
either one
find
of
it.
them-
We'll try and find out, yeah.
Either one of them would have to click on their name and go to the scorecard and click on it, and it
Yeah.
would tell you
How many
dings, how many you were early, how many you were late.
Okay.
But we can't just find that out unless you've been
Yeah.
keeping track yourself.
Yeah, 66 yards in, Birchie with the first shot.
Maybe if you ask nicely.
Yeah, I wonder if they're doing it in the back. That's what the normal production would be doing.
The great thing about the game is there is access to so many stats, and I think that's what makes it quite social as well, is you can jump in and see everyone's stats,
Yeah.
compare, talk about it, all of that.
See what you got to improve, those kind of ideas.
Yep, absolutely.
Is that going to
That's
just
a great
move back
shot.
toward? Yeah, good shot from Birchie there. That's again very much within the gimme distance, if not very close. So again, back to Walk of Life. I don't know if Walk of Life actually feels pressure. Do you?
I don't think so.
I don't think he
haven't seen any
I
pressure
need
on
to
him.
like show him a dictionary and say that's what that word means.
I don't know if he has a pulse.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, ding again. Calculations in place. This will be just as close.
Wow,
He's
look
hold
at
it.
that.
There
That's
it is. He
amazing.
is hold it. Wow. He moves one up. That is a killer blow with 2 holes left.
Mm-hmm.
That is. Oh.
Well, I'm glad to know it
Birchie
wasn't
will
just
be
my opponent doing it today.
Great
This
shot. Walk of
is
Life.
I think for both these guys now, this is where it gets awful in a way for Birchie, because so close, probably getting himself ready for the sudden death already, thinking, well, we've got this. But obviously Walk of Life as well, taking that big sigh.
Yeah, and he's just gone and hold it. That's like so antisocial, but what a shot.
Well, notice on this hole we have the same
Good
wind
tee
that
shot.
we had as my game,
Yeah,
but
15.
you'll see the pin is actually in the middle of the green, so it's a little more accessible.
Bit easier, yeah, because
Yes.
your pin was in the nasty day 4 position
Yes.
on the open.
Yeah, very tough to get close to that back pin.
Yeah.
But here I expect them to both have good birdie chances.
Do you?
Yep. For sure.
Right, Birchie's going to have to pull this out of the bag now. 1 down, 2 holes to play on the 17th at 1 down. This could end here. But I'm pretty sure Birchie doesn't want this to end here. He's going to want to pull something out here.
I played it safe.
Yeah, I know.
Yep, they're both on the fairway. They both have
Went much longer than I thought,
good
to be
looks
honest.
coming in.
So with a more accessible pin,
Yep.
arguably you'd want, I kind of like the harder pin because then it's more variable, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
As in someone couldn't get in trouble.
It's still not a gimme though. You know, you still got to make good shots and leave it close enough. But if you're too far to one side or the other, you can have a bendy putt, and it can be tough.
Walk of Life first. He dinged it again.
As the pressure builds, French Connect, we're going to say thanks to you and say goodbye and move into this now. There is a chance, of course, that Walk of Life, this could be it for him.
Absolutely. Well, he's just knocked it into about 2 foot. So absolutely, this could very much be it. What a game. And we got the funders back. 152 yards out. This needs to go close. Oh, he's dinged it. Calculations be correct. It has to go close to take it down 18. It's got to release up. It's a good shot. It's a good shot.
I feel like heartbreaking loss with the hold out.
I feel like it's going to be that whole second shot that's really the only thing parting these two players.
Hearing Birchie, I think, saying that it could be a heartbreaking loss. I think that's what he said. He's fought a hard fight.
Birchie's been asked to tap his 3.9 in. I don't think Walk of Life will have to tap. Oh, 3.3. Maybe it is time to see a putt. Yeah, we're seeing one. Look, it's like he's got to go. No, it was conceded. It was conceded. So we're going down the 18th. He is 1 up Walk of Life, so he cannot lose it on the 18th. He can only go down extra holes if he wants to lose it, or he halves it to win. This is close. That thunder is perfectly timed. How do they get that to do that? That is impressive, isn't it?
eSports production, man. Top of our game.
Yeah. So moving on to the 18th, it's a short par 4 again. Unless someone holds a second shot, you're going to put your money on Walk of Life because they're all going to be close. Oh, they can reach. They can reach, guys. Can they reach with that wind? Yep, we've got some nods over there. Yep, definitely. They can reach the green. This is going to make it very interesting. We could have a 2. Here it comes. That is online.
Might be over the back.
Will it stop? Might be over the back.
Rolls down, maybe.
Is it going to get out of the valley of sin? No, he's just caught the valley rolling back down.
Yeah, almost. Let's try.
That was not far off from being very good. That literally needed like an extra yard to get over that slope.
Still a good chance.
It was, yeah, still a good chance, Birchie saying there. Right, Birchie needs to knock this on the green. Make his opponent win this. 20-mile-an-hour downwind.
Is it enough?
Let's see. It's going to rely on a bit of bouncing.
Weird view.
Oh. Soft bounce, wasn't it?
You got the pop fly.
Yeah, the pop one.
Yeah, I don't play this course enough. I don't know where the spots are.
Yeah, you just hit the wrong hill. It's all luck.
Yeah.
Birchie admitting, saying he doesn't play this course enough. Even though he did say in his player interview he knew these courses very well. He's obviously, as he's played, realised maybe not this
There's
one as
more
well
he can
as he
still
needs.
learn, but as Walker Life said, it is, and it is the same if you play this course in real life. You hit a downslope, you'll shoot 40 yards on. If you hit an upslope, it'll just hit and pop and go nowhere.
You can see F Magnets there. Of course, he's going into the finals. He's about to find out who he is facing off against.
Yeah. Right, Birchie to play first. 28 yards, kind of needs to go in, or I think this is over. Yeah, it was a good effort. So it's a gimme distance. But Walker Life's going to do what he's been doing, I reckon, which is just knock it pretty close, and we might have a 1-up victory here. And we've got our 2 finalists. He's done this loads of times before. I'm sure he can knock this close. Only 14 yards away. Birchie was a calculator guy, and he's packing it up. He's packing his bags.
Putting his calculator away.
Yeah, and we know why. That's a good shot, Walker Life. That's game, set and match. That's a 1-up victory for Walker Life. We have our finalists conceded. and this will be conceded as well. That's a one-up win for Walk of Life. What a game.
Obviously exciting for Walk of Life. He's now made it through to the finals, but Birchie has got to be feeling...
Well done, Joe.
He mentioned that he says well done, but the heartbreak, because it was such a closely contested game.
It was that whole second shot, wasn't it? That's what separated them. It came down. I mean, Walk of Life's putting is like a machine, isn't he? I mean, he is literally on a machine playing like a machine. It's crazy. His putting was impressive. But that whole second shot is really, with a one-up win, is what kind of separated them.
And this is what happens at this level of competition. It is going to take that one shot way back at the start that you're going to look back on, watch the replay so many times, try and figure out what you can learn from it. Of course, Birchie now saying, maybe I didn't know this course as well as I thought. I'm going to have to go home. And I'm pretty sure Walk of Life's mom may be celebrating a bit. She's come all the way here to watch her son.
She is now the star of the show,
She's
so
the star.
I think she absolutely is.
Let's head on over to Simon and find out a little bit more about our second grand finalist.
Yes, indeed, it was a very even match, Walk of Life. How are you feeling right now?
Feel good. It was fun. Close match.
Were you nervous during the game?
At the end, yeah.
Understandable, because it was a very even match. And Birchie, yesterday, you won your match, and you said that you were a bit disappointed because that meant you couldn't go out and drink beers.
Yeah.
Should I congratulate you now because you can drink beers?
I went out after all, so maybe that was the problem. But no, but Joe played well. He's the better player than I am. I'm glad I could make it close, but yeah, obviously it stinks a bit to lose with a hole out on the 16th. But yeah.
And looking at the overall experience in the tournament, what would you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it was fantastic. I mean, I really liked meeting all these guys that I have known for many years now over the internet. I think I played fairly well. Yesterday, obviously, much better than today. I had a really slow start today, and that's probably where I lost the match today. But yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah.
And Walk of Life, as we've seen a couple of times, your mother is here. What's it like having her here as a support?
It's weird.
But does it support you at all when you're on stage?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that means in a moment we have the grand final between Walk of Life and F Magnets.
You're watching the European eTour, and we are moving into our grand finals. 2 days of competition has got us to this point. Now, one of the things that tends to come up a lot with real golfers is when they see virtual golf online, they always say, well, how do those players handle it when they're out on the course? We figured we'd answer that question for you. We took our top 8 seeded players and we put them on a green.
How do you feel at the moment?
Very nervous. Very nervous. Stakes are high. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
I'm gonna lose, and badly, because I never played golf before, but I'll take my chances.
What's your expectations for this tournament?
Well, to win it.
I want to win. I want to win.
It was a spectacular win. I can't believe my luck that the other guys all missed the target by so far.
What did you feel when you hit the ball?
Line was good. Thought it was good, but in the end, just too hard.
It was a poor effort, really, from most of them.
What about your own effort? How do you rate that?
It was acceptable, given that the red spot is on the high spot and you can't get it on it. I got it as near as I could, so that's the best I could have done, I think.
Christopher won the tournament. What do you think about that?
Not much.
And how are you going to celebrate?
I'll celebrate by winning the tournament in the next couple of days.
Could that have been a foreshadowing of what's to come? Because, of course, F Magnets is now in the final. We started with 8 players, 8 of the best World Golf Tour players. They have come to Made in Denmark from all over the world. They played their quarterfinals yesterday, their semis now, and this is it. The grand final is about to take place. At the end of this game, we will know who our first ever eTour champion is, and they'll be taking home $5,000 US. 2 finalists, one from the UK, one from Canada. Let's meet our top seed, possibly the favorite to take the competition. This is F Magnets.
I'm Chris Aitken, my name's F Magnets in the game, from the UK, and I'm 42. I've played WGT for 6 years now. Usually play the game for about 2 to 4 hours a day. Strengths are all the categories of the game, really. I'm going to win this tournament because it's an awfully long way to come to go away with nothing.
Your favorite to take it, the top seed. Many people watching who follow this game believe that he is going to take it as well. Also, LAN experience. And this is a big one as a gamer. He's been in this situation before where he's been on a stage in front of a live audience. It can change the dynamic a bit. While we take a look at his stats, tell me a little bit about what you've been impressed by throughout the last 2 days.
Well, he's very consistent. I like, even when you talk to him off game, he's calculated in everything he's saying. He's thinking everything through. I like the way he thinks. And to play these games at this kind of standard, you do need to be using that part of your brain. You've got to be able to control emotions and everything else. But there's numbers. It's number crunching and statistical. And he is that kind of person. I've liked everything about him. He's relaxed. Yeah. Against Walk of Life, though, I'm struggling to choose. They're both just so solid, aren't they?
What's interesting, though, is also when you speak to F Magnets, he is a golfer as well. So
yeah,
he doesn't just play in the game. He's on the golf course. He's had a chance. I think he's played St. Andrews.
He's played to a decent standard. I can't remember what he said his handicap was. I'm pretty sure it was single figures. He's played to a decent standard, and he brings that to the game as well, which is fun. But it's that analytical side of him that I think is just so much part of him that puts him in good stead for this final.
And this is why this game is so interesting, because it's not just clicking a button and randomly swinging a club. There's a lot of statistics that come into play, lots of maths that need to be done. We'll see him with his calculator. That's something that you need to be able to figure, to understand, and ultimately, if you do the correct calculations, be better in the game.
Well, for me, I think it's a combination of both. It can be as random as just clicking a button if you want it to. You know, and that's the part of it. It's like golf can be as basic as playing a few holes rather than coming to try and play Made in Denmark, and that's the beauty of the game. You can take it to this level, and then it is more of the calculations and working out all the slopes and the wind and everything, or you can just go and play with your mates and have a laugh. It kind of works both ways, I think.
Let's take a look at our second grand finalist. You just saw him play, taking out the German from Canada. This is Walk of Life.
My name is Jody Swim. I'm 33 years old from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. I've been playing WGT for 5 years. I play the game about 25 hours a week. I'd say my strength in the game is putting, and I'm going to win the tournament because I'm going to ding more than everybody else.
He mentions the dings there, and we've seen that now.
He says it, and he does it. And watch the game. If you watch this final, so the ding, I didn't know what the ding, people have been mentioning the ding, I didn't know what it was yesterday, and I felt too uncool to not ask what it was. And I now know what it is. So if they hit the line, when you got the little thing at the bottom, when they hit that line, it's called the ding. So I was watching today, and yeah, he's like a machine. He hits that ding a lot. It's impressive.
Let's take a look at his stats. This play is an interesting one for me because we haven't really had a lot to chat to him about. He's quiet. He hangs out in the back a little bit. He's not as outspoken as, say, French Connect or F Magnets. So while we take a look at those stats, we don't really know enough about him personally. So I wonder if that's like, maybe that's a strategy. It's just keep to yourself.
I think it's his personality. I had time to speak to him yesterday. Really nice guy, definitely quiet and happy just to be in the background, doesn't want to be in the foreground. He knew where I was. And I said, oh, so you've watched the videos, you must play golf. He said, I used to play golf, don't now, but I still watch the videos for entertainment. He obviously likes seeing what's going on in the golf world and being part of it, and this game actually gives him a great chance of being part of this community, a different golfing community, but still a golfing community, and have a lot of fun and perform at an amazing level. He's a lovely guy, just a really nice guy. He's the guy who just wants to sit at the back, and when he's talked to, he'll talk to him. He's nice with it.
There you have it. Your 2 finalists for our first ever European eTour. We're moving into the veto now. So how this works is the top seeded player, that of course will be F Magnets, will veto a particular course, and then the second seeded player, which will be Walk of Life, will get to choose where they play. So we're now waiting to find out. F Magnets taking out Wolf Creek.
Surely we're going to Chambers Bay, aren't we? What do you reckon? Yeah, we had to. We had to go to the toughest course for
Chambers Bay, the toughest course for finals. Walk of Life has picked it, and that is where we are going to play. Going into the head-to-head there, of course, on the left you see F Magnets, on the right Walk of Life. Both of these players want this now. $5,000 on the line, winner takes all. If you take a look at those stats there, rounds played, pretty scary when you see how many rounds F Magnets has got under his belt in comparison to Walk of Life with only 8,000. It does mean that he has a little bit more experience, has a little bit more time on the virtual course, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, you just can't call this. This is going to be so close. I don't think they can call it. Obviously, they both want to win. Who doesn't want to win $5,000 US? But
I like this
see how
one.
good they were playing.
They've both played well, and what I like here is they have different strengths. So, of course, as much as I'm pointing out the rounds that F Magnets played, the putting average, it's in Walk of Life's favour.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we're playing the longest course, so there's going to be a bit more premise on those approach shots as well. Much more sloping greens than we saw at St Andrews. So, yeah, this could go any way.
There you go, players ready to fight it out. That check in front of them. We started with 8 and we are down to 2. Who is going to take the first ever European eTour Championship? We're getting ready now to go into game. There they are, Chambers Bay. You mentioned the most difficult course out of the 3. Why would you say? We've said length. Is that the only reason?
Length, yeah. So you've basically got to hit better approaches. If you watch the St Andrews, anyone who's stayed with us for the feed, the St Andrews course that we watched this morning, lots of shorter irons into greens, which is only going to make it a little easier for them. This is definitely a more challenging course. Not that these guys will still score low. I think it's more challenging against each other, if that makes sense. You know, we might see a bit more toing and throwing here, hopefully.
I do like that it's a truly international final. Walk of Life from Canada, F Magnets from the UK, but living in Brazil. We got a little bit of the Southern Hemisphere action happening there.
We need to find out what the Brazil thing's about. I mean, I've not asked him about that.
We'll have a chat to him after the game, but that's an interesting one for me.
Cool place to end up living, isn't it?
It was pretty. Well, I mean, I'm from South Africa, so I think I have better weather.
Yeah. I'm from grey England, so I'm jealous of you both.
Okay, let's get into the seriousness now. That first hole, we see them playing.
So you can see this is a 250-yard approach in for F Magnets. So different if you compare that, say, the first at St Andrews, where it was a 55-yard approach. And again, a decent shot out to the right side. Remember this hole yesterday. If you miss left of this green, it hits the drop-off and runs away. Woolly hats needed if you're out watching Made in Denmark out there. It is a little bit breezy and cool out on the course. Second shot here then for Walk of Life, 243 yards, had the slightly longer drive. Wind into off the left. So he's going to move the ball to the right, 16 to 18 miles an hour. So that might catch the drop off. Yes, it has. Had to miss this on the right. So Advantage on the first hole going to F Magnets. Unless Walk of Life chips in, F Magnets will have a putt for the win. 12 yards chipping up the hill. All to play for, $5,000 on this final 18-hole match play. Going to extra holes if they're all square after 18 holes. That's a good effort, and you see, like French Connect was telling us earlier, he gave that a go. There was no leaving that short. He wanted to hold that. So 11 foot for first blood for F Magnets on the first. 11-foot putt, breaking away from him to his right. It's to go one up on the first. Got
And it goes in.
Good putt. First blood for F Magnets, one up with a birdie on the very long first hole, so they'll move on to the second. Got to be happy with that start. But plenty of holes still to go. 410 yard par 4, 17 to 19 mile an hour wind off the right. This is is he aiming that? I'm trying to work that out. Let's see where this ends. He knows something. So he's going to catch that bit of fairway just before the... No, he's doing... Okay. So this is what Walk of Life did yesterday.
Walk of Life do yesterday.
That's the other fairway, isn't it? That's not the hole they're playing. They're hitting it on the other fairway.
They jump on there. We've seen this play from Walk of Life, and you can see he's going to do it now as well. This is just a tactical play.
It's a strategy. I mean, you do it when you play these courses for real. There are sometimes funky ways that suit your eye, and it's not always the way the designers have designed the hole to play. So they're both hitting basically fairway balls, but that's not the fairway they're on of the hole. That's the maybe the third fairway, or later on. That's actually, I think, later on fairway. So 94 yards in. F Magnets to play first, hitting uphill. Slope is more of a factor again here at Chambers Bay compared to St Andrews that we saw this morning.
But we saw Walk of Life in his quarterfinal yesterday. This was a really great setup for him being on that other side.
Yes.
It allowed him to utilize the slope quite well. It just seemed like a far easier setup. So could be why both of them are now choosing to go this route.
Absolutely. Bit of experience there from the top players in the final, I reckon, showing through. So that's going to work its way down to the pin. It's a good shot. Is it going to stop? Yeah, good shot.
Really nice shot there.
Much more concentrated there now from F Magnets into the final. This has got serious now, isn't it?
Mark's upset because he won't play with you anymore. Is that what's happening?
Yeah. 94 yards.
Walk of Life.
Very similar for Walk of Life is what.
I'm presuming we'll see a very similar shot coming out of Walk of Life.
Yeah, I mean, they're mapping each other's round at the moment, aren't they, on this second? That's a ding.
That's a ding. Interesting, though, because if Magnets let it go a little bit over...
Yeah, so he's gone and then used the slopes. There's a bit of a backboard there as well, that's a very good shot, which is why they go from that angle, because if you go from the fairway that the hole's designed to, you're going to have a big right-to-left approach, where it looks like they can chuck it beyond the pin like that and in. This has to go in to keep its one-up lead for F Magnets, because Walk of Life will be given. Good putt. It's a birdie start for F Magnets. I'm sure Walk of Life will be given. I think he looks very close. Yep, it was conceded, so stays at 1, moving on to the third. Just that first hole separating them. Again, lots of Interested eyes coming off the course and seeing what's going on. There's the calculator that we see F Magnets. Calculator is used for wind and slope. Both players using a calculator actually. So Walker Life is using a calculator and now hasn't got his notes, or are they just down flat?
I think his notes are down flat, but they are doing. They obviously had to move.
Maybe he didn't like me mention them so much.
Maybe
now he
people
wants
to
not to
see
see
them. I think it was because he had to move, because obviously the first seed sits to your left on the stage.
Right.
And he had to move, so he hasn't had time. And he's pulling them out now to set them up for you. There we go, Mark.
Thanks, Walker Life. I like that a little den he sets up. I like that. That's a good shot there from F Magnets. He's just shaking his head. I think he wanted it closer, but certainly a holdable putt. Lots of golfers and golf fans coming in off the course to see what's going on with this eSports. Definitely two different worlds colliding. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun seeing what goes on in this world you live in, Sam.
I'm excited to see you in game. I mean,
Yeah.
we all know you're calling yourself Geordie Swim, so easy to add the not real Mark Crossfield on World Golf Tour if you want. He'll be named Geordie Swim.
Right, 206 ball coming in for Walker Life, but that's going to catch the slope, so he's missed the wrong side. You can see it moving away from the hole. He's missed on the wrong side of the hole. And again, more variations when it comes to Chambers Bay than St Andrews. You could see why St Andrews was being deselected yesterday. 33-foot putt. If it doesn't go in, F Magnets is going to have a putt to go 2 up. Uphill, breaking to his right, and then back by the hole. It's a slight double breaker, this one. 33 foot. So should move back towards the hole now, but not enough. So F Magnets is going to have a putt to go 2 up. Calculating the slope. So side up and down to work out how hard he's got to hit it and what direction he needs to start it. Just to go 2 up after 3. Moving away to his right. No, it's on the low side.
Not 100% happy with that shot
No,
you saw there.
He'd want to replay that one if he could, definitely. I'm sure that'll be conceded. F Magnets will be conceded as well, so we stay at 1 after 3. Moving on to the 4th. F Magnets 1 up. All very serious up there on the stage as well. So 525 yard par 5. Again, this course will have par 4s that are longer than this par 5 because this one plays uphill. And that's a big feature of this course. You get some massive elevations and drops. Down the right side, we'll just cut the hole down because it doglegs round to the right. Decent drive there from F Magnets. Wind into off the left. But I'm sure they're still going to reach this hole in 2. Looks like the pin's in the same position we were seeing yesterday, which means, I don't know if you remember this one, it was very hard to get it close in 2. It's where they kept running over the back. Again, good shot there from on the fairway from Walker Life.
You can see that the whole change in atmosphere
There is, isn't there?
has occurred, not just on the stage, but in the crowd as well. Far more quiet. Everyone is well aware that this is it. It's the final.
Serious money being played for. So 201 yards to the flag. Walker Life to play first. Wind is into off the left. Quite strong wind, 17, 19 mile an hour, uphill. The standard ding for Walker Life there, isn't it? Yes, the pin is in the same position. That's going to go up the slope. Will it come back? Yes. That's not the best camera view, unfortunately, from the game, but that ball is moving back down the slope.
He did use the slope to his advantage, and we
Yeah.
did see it move closer towards the hole, which I think he's going to be really happy with.
So same conundrum for F. Magnet's drive was slightly longer, which is why he's playing second. He's one up. He's 199 yards. He's going to probably come and use the same slope that we saw Walk of Life trying to navigate there. Magnet doing his calculations. Hitting the ding. Are the calculations what he needed them to be? It's landed. Will it soft enough? Again, you can see it's going to go up and then back down that slope, doing very similar to what
French Connect is clearly doing a little bit of a
enjoying himself.
Commentator
That
job
is a
there.
very good shot. Very good shot. Thomas Bjorn in the house watching a little bit of the eSports. Good to have Thomas Bjorn in the house watching a slightly different version of the game that he's played and loved for many years.
I mentioned there that the atmosphere's changed, and what a change from yesterday when the Ryder Cup arrived and Mark ended. Well, you basically stopped the entire game.
I had to get my selfie with the Ryder Cup, didn't I?
like
Come
how-
on, it was the Ryder Cup. It was
I know, but
there.
I know that secretly inside you want to do this with Thomas, but you're not going to because you realize it's the final. And that I will refuse to let you back on the commentating desk.
That was a bit of a pause, but it was the Ryder Cup. I felt like that meant more to me than it did to you a little bit.
This means a lot to me now.
That's
The
a good
finals of the eTour.
Very good putt from Walker Life, but we now have F. Magnet's got a putt to go 2 up with an eagle. Again, we have seen more to-in and throw-in on this course, but 2 up is the kind of lead you want after 4. 5.9 feet. He's tapped it in. Very good putt. F. Magnet's that's an eagle. Moves 2 up.
It's important to note how much work goes into this. Both of these gents playing this game at least 2 hours a night. The amount of what you see is them just clicking a mouse, but it's far more than that. You mentioned the dings earlier and how important that is. They're working out what clubs they're going to use, what sort of force they're going to hit the ball with, where they're going to hit the ball. All of that comes into play.
Learning the course, the slopes. I mean, they've got it all, haven't they?
Understanding how the weather impacts your shots as well. It really is. It's a little bit like, I think you mentioned it yesterday, chess. Golf
it's
chess.
very similar to chess.
It's golf chess.
It's calculated. They're not just, like you say, clicking a mouse at this level. And obviously, again, you can play at the level where you do just click the mouse and off you go and have a bit of fun. But if you want to win 5K and get here, you're going to have to do your calculations to compete against these players. So full 90-yard par 4. 2 good drives, both finding fairway. Walker Life 2 down. I don't think we're going to see much of a change of emotion.
Not from either of them. And I
in
remember,
Walker Life.
these are 8 of the best players playing the World Golf Tour. 15 million players
That's
on that
an
game.
amazing community, isn't it? 15 million. How does that compare to other communities? Do you know? Like, as in, so the games you play, are we talking similar numbers?
It's an incredible amount of people playing, and it really is impressive. And I also think it's impressive that the 8 players we have here are so high up, so talented, so skilled. For them to be able to say that they're one of the best of 15 million is...
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive in its own right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good shot there from F. Magnets. Is definitely turning the screw at the minute. He's bringing his A game to this final. Lots of the golfers or golf fans walking in off the course, watching a little bit of the eSports, trying to work out what's going on, eating their panini. He's got a cheese and ham one down there. Looks lovely.
More than likely also players of the game we're chatting about, because most of them are golfers as well. Could be coming in here to see, well, what do I have to beat if I want to be here next year? Are you focused on someone's
He's
food
not
now,
sharing,
Mark?
is he?
He's not giving you any of your food. That's not how this works.
Right, so he's let that one go. He knows F. Magnets is in close. Oh, that wasn't a ding. Was it an intentional non-ding?
Let's take a look and see.
Oh, yeah, he knows what he's doing, this boy, doesn't he? Good shot.
You don't always want to ding it. Sometimes you do want to go a little bit over or a little bit before to make sure that the ball lands. And this is the thing. These guys know these courses. They know where they need that ball to drop.
He's going to have to bring his putter, though.
Something that we know he's good at.
Absolutely.
Obviously, holding the highest average out of the whole competition. So this is a place where he's going to feel that he can take on F Magnets.
Absolutely. All right, this needs to go in because F Magnets is close. Yeah,
And it
well
does.
hold. Good birdie. I don't know if F Magnets is given or not. I don't know if we've got a walk of life. Young Flan outside, a little upset that he's 2 down. Yeah, that was conceded, so hole was halved. We move on. Not happy outside.
That baby does not like e-golf.
No. It's too windy for that little chap.
It took you 6 holes, Mark, to break the serious atmosphere. You tried hard for all 6, but you finally did it.
It was the Panini that did it.
I'm gonna
he's
give
nearly
that to
blooming
you.
finished it. Loving that, he is. Some of us haven't had any lunch, mate. Sat there. Yeah, look at he's waving it at me now. Right, 5-10 yard par 4, 6th hole. 2 down for Walk of Life. That's a ding. He just needs to keep it in the ding now and hold a few putts because I don't feel like F Magnets is going to make many mistakes at this point.
And I do think this is what it's going to come down to now, is who makes the mistakes and who is able to utilize those mistakes to their advantage.
Yeah, you've got, if anyone does make a mistake and you don't take your advantage at this point, it's just gonna be such a waste because there are going to be so few mistakes.
Walk of Life needs to put the pressure on F Magnets. He needs to play a near perfect game every single time.
So we've got 184 yards F Magnets into the green. Wind down off the left. Decent shot on the low side.
Very
yeah,
nice.
Good shot. Gets the seal of approval from Walk of Life. Little sigh of relief there from F Magnets. He's definitely more concentrated in this final. 178 yards for Walk of Life with the longer drives. That's why he's playing second. That's the ding. That's a Yanis. And that is a little bit in the left for the win. Yep, there he is. He's loving it.
$5,000 on the line. 2 players want to take it home, and Mark is making sure he gets a giggle out of everyone before they do.
All right, 11-foot putt. 2 down, Walk of Life. F Magnets in close. This needs to go in, breaking away to his right. Our left as we look from this angle. See him aiming it up the left there.
He is the putting king, so can he make this shot? He has to. This is what we were saying earlier. He's got to keep the pressure on F Magnets.
This is where those averages just keep coming back at you. Always play the odds.
Is it in?
Oh, it just broke away on the low side.
These are not mistakes that you can make in the final because you're playing against our top seed.
Mum's not happy.
F Magnets, one of the best players in World Golf Tour. You don't want to give him the opportunity.
5-foot putt to go 3 up. Breaking Simino off to his right. F Magnets has brought his A game to the final. It's impressive stuff.
This is what we said, though. Mistakes can't happen here. You can't miss
They'll be
those
punished.
shots. They will be punished by someone like F Magnets. In the same way that Walk of Life, F Magnets, if he's putting on that pressure,
Now
could
3
potentially crack it. But now 3 up.
3 up for F Magnets after 6 holes. That's the dream start. I totally wouldn't have predicted it going this way at all.
I think he also knows, though, that he's just got to keep playing his game. He has to be consistent. And this was something French Connect, who he obviously knocked out in the semifinals, said. This is where F Magnets just betters his opponents because he consistently plays a good game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Walker Life also hitting his tee shot on this 480-yard par 4. They're going to try and carry that big wasteland. Yep, 2 fairway balls, 2 decent drives. Playing downwind, 125 yards in again, 16 to 80 mile an hour, straight down the wind. I think it's a slightly elevated green. If I remember this green from yesterday, it's got a lot of slope on it. Kind of the safest commentary you could ever make with this course, because every green's got a lot of slope on it.
I'm going to utilize that for my future golf endeavors.
So Walker Life hitting it just a little bit through. I guess that's the wind playing its part a bit there as well, because he was downwind, harder to stop. Be interesting to know if Thomas played in the US Open when it was here, actually. I don't know if he played this course. Did he play the US Open when it was here? Chambers, did you play Chambers? No, so he didn't play that year. So I remember watching it on telly just to get a view of the course. Second shot, F Magnets at 3 up.
That looks like a good shot.
Yeah, he's just machining it. That's coming in on the slope. That's another gimme. Very good. And there's a little fan. He's cheered up, or she's cheered up now. Got the squeezy yogurt. I could do with one of them if they want to share. No.
This is where that LAN experience that I was talking about. So in game, playing at home in your bedroom is one thing. Playing competitively at home in your bedroom is one thing. But when you put someone on a stage, you put people around them. When you have commentators like us chirping away, it can build pressure. Put them off as well.
What you're saying puts them off all the time. They told me.
They'll have to learn to deal with it, because that's what playing on LAN is all about. And F Magnets is showing that he is definitely coping well with it, almost feeding off of it.
Absolutely. Right, Walker Life needs to tap this in. It's going to break towards the hole now. It's just under broke. Oh, just on the low side. It was a good effort.
This computer's a lot different than that one.
I think we're going to 4, because that's 2.5 feet. I think that'll be a concede. Yep, it was conceded. So F Magnets moves 4 up through 7 holes.
Do you think the pressure may be starting to get to Walker?
I just think F Magnets is playing pretty good. I mean, good golf's just good golf, isn't it? 5-9-1, par 5, long hole, straight up the hill.
Also keep in mind, you heard Walk of Life say there that he feels that the computer that he's playing on is very different to the other one. He's always played on the left-hand side because the top seed plays there.
Okay.
Though my understanding is that they're using the same mouse, same setup there. So not sure that there's much of a difference other than the positioning.
That's a ding. Walk of Life needs to just get some dings flowing now. At 4 down, this is an uphill struggle. This hole also an uphill struggle. This is a long hole, 11 yards or 11 mile an hour wind into. 308 yards second shot. This is a brute of a hole. That's another ding. Back-to-back dings there for Walk of Life, like that.
Your new favorite word, maybe?
So they are not reaching this hole in 2. I mean, if this stays at 4 up, with only 3 to go, the game is over. This could be ending around 15th or 16th if we're not careful. We need Walk of Life getting those putting boots on and holding a few 10-footers. Look at that, they're matching each other. Those two balls side by side after 2, so it's all going to be down to the pitches. 71 yards to go into the wind uphill. F Magnets play first, just punching in the digits into his calculator, working out what to do. It was a ding.
Was it enough? That is a good shot.
It's relentless at the minute from F Magnets. F Magnets is absolutely relentless. Unless you're holding a second shot, how do you compete against that? I mean, that's a gimme.
It's something that we talk about in all sports. I'm sure that you talk about it in golf. We talk about it in eSports, that BMT. And he has it. He's brought it. He's just, from yesterday's quarterfinal to now, just suddenly upped himself 3 levels.
Yeah. That's what the best do, isn't it? Walker Life just trying to bring it back from past the pin. It's another good shot. That could, no, there's 2 good shots. That's 2 gimmies, I'm guessing. Very good shot. F Magnets appreciating that one. Good atmosphere they're playing this final in. All the matches have been played in a good atmosphere, actually. Lucky I'm not playing, because I reckon it could have all got a little bit nasty, you know, because I don't like losing.
I think that's why neither of us are allowed to play and why we have to sit here and comment.
That's why I've had a 5-yard ban on any computers in this room.
No computers for you, Mark.
They've both been conceded, I think, so we move on. F Magnet stays at 4. Like I say, if you're going to pick up that $5,000 prize fund, unless you're holding second shots against F Magnet playing like this, I'm not sure how you claw that back. But we did see a claw back from almost 4 down yesterday, I think, did we not? 218-yard par 3 downhill, wind down and off the left. F Magnet still with the honour, so he gets to go first. Because if he didn't won the last hole, he won the hole before that. You can see a couple of the fellow competitors there from the couple of days play watching on. This green slopes heavily right to left as we look, left to right as they play. It's in a kind of bowl, this green, so that could
Looks like a
down.
really good shot, though, from F Magnets.
Is it going to keep moving? Yeah, not bad, but I think people can get it closer because of the slope. They can work this one down very close with the right calculations. Everyone watching all looks well fed, well drunk. They're watered. They've all had a nice lunch. Not to go on about the paninis or anything. 218 yards, Walker Life.
There's your ding.
Another one was there. Another good shot.
That's better. Good shot.
That's a great shot.
That's
coming
a
down
fantastic
off the
shot.
slope. Yeah.
He needs
Good
more
shot.
of these
He does.
as we move into the back line because he is 4 down. That is a big fight.
Hill to climb. So Walker Life doesn't want this going in because he wants to claw one back here. He's got a chance. His putt is, I would argue Walker Life's going to hold his. If Magnets needs to hold this to stay at 4 up.
This is the kind of setup Walk of Life needs, though, in order to climb back up, is forcing F Magnets to take these shots, hoping that the nerves get to him.
Yeah. Break. Yeah, good putt. Walk of Life, very good. Needed it. F Magnets, sorry. F Magnets putt, not Walk of Life. Sorry, got that the wrong way around.
Walk of Life wants that pressure to build on F Magnets, but he's just not
He's
cracking.
relentless. Holding putts when he isn't hitting it close is going to make it very hard. 5.7 feet for Walker Life now for the half to stay at 4 down. Bit of a double breaker, making it relatively straight. 2 good birdies. Right, we're moving into the back 9. Only 9 holes left with F Magnets 4 up.
This has got to be a nice
Running.
position for our top seed. He was the favourite coming into this, and now you have to tell me his mind must be starting to go, listen, I've almost got this in the
Yeah,
bag.
I think it's one hand down by the check stuff, isn't it? 475-yard par 4 downhill. That's a fairway splitter from F Magnets. Might hit middle stripe. Look, watch it. It's going to hit the middle stripe. Yep. That's a straight bowl. That's a good drive. F Magnets won the putting competition. Can he win the $5,000 as well?
Came all the way from Brazil, and he said it was too far to go home without that check.
Yeah. That's another good drive there from Walker Life. Also a fairway splitter. Already tapping the numbers for the second shots. Both of them using the calculators, working out wind, slope, direction, where to start the ball, how hard to hit it. Using their maths to try and beat the algorithm of the game, basically. 161 yards to go. F Magnets up first. Didn't waste much time on that one. Amazing green complex with 2 huge bunkers either side, but that's another good iron shot on the green. This is going to be a low round at the right time, isn't it, from F Magnets at the minute?
Every time, though, he's not missing, and that's, I think, where the pressure's...
Heartbreaking, isn't it, to play against?
Heartbreaking to play against, and it's where the pressure's starting to build up. Walk of Life, and every time if Magnets has one of these shots, Walk of Life has to look and go...
Yeah, well, how do I get in? He's looking,
you know?
Where's the door? Unless you start holding second shots. I mean, that's a good shot as well, but it's not inside F Magnets.
The door is just slowly closing. That's what's starting to happen now.
Absolutely. So Walker Life to putt first, 9, nearly 10 foot, breaking to our right as we look there, so his left as he putts it. Needs to hold this, can't go 5 down. Does hold it. Good putt, Walker Life. Very good.
Mom looking a little proud there. Obviously, maybe her nerves feeling less.
Yeah, absolutely. Star of the show, Mum. Fall down, though. Doesn't want. That was the look of fall down still. This is the stay at fall down or fall up for F Magnet. 5 feet par. Taps it in. Another good birdie. Well, this is an amazing final. The quality of that F Magnets is bringing is ridiculous compared to... I mean, there's been good golf in all the matches, but this is just from the beginning to where we are now on the 11th tee, just relentless golf. 530-yard par 4, long, long par 4. Wind down off the right, it's a downhill tee shot. Just flying that big kind of hump of rough and kicking forward. It's a very good tee shot. Walker Life at fall down. It's going to just put this into play. Similar position, just slightly more right as we look, but left as they play that hole. 7 billion balls hit in 2018. That's a lot of E-shots, isn't it?
Oh, Mark.
That's a lot of E-shots.
I know that you're doing this to tilt me, so I'm just going to move on swiftly. 15 million players. There are a lot of people watching right now.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Wanting to be in the position of Walk of Life and F Magnets playing in front of this crowd here at Made in Denmark. And I wonder how Walk of Life is starting to feel.
Like it's running away from him at the minute, I think. 196 yards, wind down off the right, hitting a 4-iron. That's another ding. Now there's a slope there. Has he missed that on the correct side? That might just catch. No, it's good.
That's unlucky. Nearly good.
So just not as close as they would want it. You can see the slope of that green. It's almost like you need to be slightly on the right side of it to get really, really close. 189 yards for 4-up F Magnet.
Tapping away at his calculator, doing all the various maths that he needs to do to figure out how he wants to take the shot.
To hit it as close as they hit it. That's a ding. We've got another relentless iron coming in from F Magnets. It's on the correct side of the hole. Is it long or is there a slope there? A little bit long. Looks like it'll be F Magnets to putt first. Fellow competitors looking on. So F Magnets to go first. He's 14 foot away, so that means Walker Life is closer to the hole than him. If this doesn't go in, that will give Walker Life a little, dare I say it, Walker Life you know, just opens the door a little bit, doesn't it?
A little bit of light creeping in, potentially. But I think F Magnets.
He can't, can he? He
It's
can't
his
keep.
BMT.
Can he?
Can he? He's going to.
Oh,
and he does.
my word. F Magnets is just killing it. There is no clawing back if you're going to keep doing that.
He just seems to have upped his game considerably since the last 2 matches we've seen him, and it's almost like he knew that he had to bring it for this final.
He's definitely like changed the level of focus, hasn't he? He wants that check, he wants that title, he wants those bragging rights. 8.7 feet breaking to our left as we look, his right as he putts. Going to be aiming this up the left. It's the stay at fall down, has to go in. It's
gonna
not
go
his
past.
best part. There was a lot of slope there. So, Walker Life goes 5 down. We are moving on to the 12th hole. We are running out of holes. This will end. It doesn't have to go to 18. If F Magnets is 5 up and there's 4 holes left to go, that game is over. That was a 5-4 win. Walker Life's going to need to start turning on the old fireworks to call this back.
We've chatted a little bit about how this game has been going and how it's going to come down to making less mistakes. You don't want to be 5 down at this point in the game.
No, not when F Magnet's just driven it to about 12 foot or whatever it is. He's not happy with it, but he's 5 up. Like, give yourself some credit, bruh. It's a drivable par 4, 293. Wind off the left. Drivable par 4, sorry, I said par 3 there, par 4. See it moving in on the wind. Massive sloping green. So that will work back down, will it, to the hole? Here it comes.
Could be good.
So there's a big slope that they know is there. Oh, but look, it doesn't stop. That's so fast coming down there.
That's so heartbreaking because that could have been just the little bit of hope.
The ray of light that he needed just there. So he's closer than F Magnets though. F Magnets the putt first. 11 feet. See where he's aiming this. He's coming across the slope that we just saw Walker Life come down with his tee shot. This is downhill and breaking to his right. Not again. Not again.
Oh, no, not again.
Slightly on the low side, right. Here we go, the charge, the massive comeback from Walker Life. It's to go back to 4, sorry, from 5.
F Magnet's not happy about that. Not happy that he missed that one.
He's on it, isn't he, today? He wants it all. Breaking to the right. This needs to go in. It's a ding.
And it doesn't go
it did
in.
not drop. Ouch. We are running out of time. I was expecting him. I had money on him holding that.
So did I, and I feel like this is where...
You've been saying he's the putting god all morning. He's going to miss that.
I'm starting to consider maybe the crowd, the amounts of people that are slowly starting to come in. It's like I've said about that whole land
You're not blaming them, are
environment.
you?
I'm not blaming the crowd. I'm saying I wonder if Walk of Life is... maybe there's a little bit of pressure starting to get you, starting to build up. They've moved him. He's played the whole tournament on it. You get used to your setup. You get used to the computer you're playing on. He's had to move. He's got all these people watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's playing against the #1 seed who...
He's up against it. He needs to be holding those putts.
Who you have to understand online in this game, it's a community game. Everyone knows everyone else. They know the best players. There's no doubt that they all knew who F Magnets was coming into this.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's all starting to sit heavy on Walk of Life's shoulders. Also, his mom's here. That's always added pressure.
Absolutely. Two good drives, both finding fairways. So Walker Life is 5 down, F Magnets is 5 up. We haven't got enough holes left. This needs to change here and now. 6 holes left. This has the potential to end here. $187 yards out. If Magnets wants to try and just... Rubbish. Oh, he doesn't like it.
He's not happy.
No, is that the... Where's the pin?
Pin is...
There, yeah. So he's gone over the back of that slope. He wasn't happy with that.
He knew
that's the first loose shot we've seen from F Magnets in this final, I think.
Maybe me talking up all the crowd and the people and what's to play
it's
for.
Their fault. Them two there. Can we get them removed? It was their fault.
It's just suddenly hit F Magnets. What's up for the grabs? $5,000.
180 yards.
Surprise!
He's just here for the sandwiches. What a shot from Walker Live. Great shot. Very good shot. So, we could be going back to 4 here. There are only 5 holes left after this one.
If you were a betting man, would you take a bet that he's going to be able to get this shot?
The F Magnets is going to hold this. He won't hold this.
29. How much are you betting, Mark?
Yeah.
Confident. Now we got a little bit of banter.
Here we go. F Magnets
confident there.
Yeah.
Put some money on the table.
If he does, we need to get rid of these stalls pretty quick.
No, miles away.
No, you see, I was safe. 5,000 F Magnets, I was batting on that, by the way. I don't know if he heard me before he hit that putt. I definitely said 5,000. Right, this is conceded, so that is back to 4. Walk of Life.
Good
is
birdie,
this? Yeah, very good birdie there, absolutely. Back to 4. Excellent birdie from Walk of Life. Is this the charge that we're going to see in the final stretch? Definitely a good second shot. First loose shot we saw from F Magnets. We've got 5 holes left. Again, this has got the potential of ending here. There's only 5 holes left. So after this hole, 4 holes left. Obviously, if F Magnets wins this, he goes 5 up. That would be a 5-4 victory for that final. That check, those bragging rights. 332-yard drive. Downhill, this one. Wind off the right. It's a 544-yard par 4. That is a monster. Looks like a good drive from F Magnets. Yeah, again, both of them splitting the fairway just a few yards longer than Walk of Life's tee shot. Lots of fans now gripped to this final, waving fans, hello fan. 181 yards. Walk of Life to play first. Can he apply some pressure? Gonna need to hit this in nice and close. Let that one go.
Don't know how I did that.
That's a ding. What did he say? I didn't read it. What did he say then?
I'm not 100% sure because I was busy.
Oh,
that's
was that close?
Good.
Yeah, good shot. It is. Here we go. Walk of Life has decided he's now in the final.
Is the comeback real?
Let's see. F Magnets can still stick this in close, but he's going to have to push the right numbers on that calculator. Working it out for slope, wind, using those calculators to try and work out club, direction, spin, all the variables. Similar to what you'll see a tour player doing when they got their yardage, but they're going to work the wind, the slope in, how hard they hit it, how it will react when it hits the green. 179 yards, wind slightly helping off the right, 15, 17 miles an hour. Likes it. Likes it. Oh, what a shot. Play off. Good shot. Pick it up. So who's putting? So this is 3.8 feet. So that means, yep, so they're both conceded. So we're Dormy. That's 4 with 4. This has to go to extra holes now for Walk of Life to win. He is 4 down with 4 to go. So absolutely could end on the next hole. This is literally the last few moments of this final, possibly.
I did ask if the comeback was real, and I felt like with that last hole, F Magnets politely went, no.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes. 232-yard par 3. Walk of Life still with the honour. The last hole was halved. Look at the wasteland around this hole. Is that going to move in? Is there a slope there that he knows of? Not quite, no. Not a bad shot, but I'm sure he'd wanted that to be closer. Absolutely could end here now. Down and off the right wind, 232 yards to go, 4 up, 4 to go. Yes. The young fans are tense now with all this action. That's at it. Oh,
that's a very good shot.
I think that's game, set, and match. I think we're there. That is a 4-3 win or 5-3 win, depending on how they do it. If that's conceded, he has to putt first to get to the concede screen, I think. No, it was conceded, yeah. So I think we're there. Yeah, there you go.
Your first European
Well done.
eTour champion.
Woo! What a day. What a day.
Fantastic performance. He was the top seed coming in, the favorite in the competition, and the Brit took it. What an incredible performance. Nearly faultless in that final game.
Unbelievable final. He brought what his seed was about into the final, didn't he? It's almost like, I mean, I know it doesn't work like this, but it's almost like he waited for the final just to go, actually, this is how I play. It's obvious why people can see that he's such a good player. That was like a machine.
He did say that this is what he wanted. He specifically said he came all the way from Brazil and it was too far to travel to not take that check home, and now he gets to take it home. Your favorite throughout the competition.
Yeah, I'm good at selecting, aren't I? I should maybe do this for a job or something. But yeah, absolutely. I went with the #1 seed. That's just called a dead cert. Now I've just gone for the safe bet.
You went for the safe bet, but it paid off. Simon, it is now over to you with our winner. And of course, that incredible ceremony where he gets to take home his check.
Exactly. First of all, big congratulations, F Magnus. How are you feeling right now?
Relieved, very relieved.
You came into the tournament as the top seed. Were you expecting to win?
I thought I had a fair chance, but everybody else is so good. Joe is a great, great player. And yeah, I knew I had to bring my A game to the final.
And indeed, you did. And Walk of Life, what would you say about your overall experience in this tournament?
It was really fun, and I'd do it again.
But do you want to go home and play even more WGT after this?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. We'll have you head up to the desk and then bring in a little special guest. Thomas Bjorn, everybody.
Thanks very much, Thomas. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. That helps.
Yeah.
So, Thomas, you saw a bit of the gameplay here. How do you think you do in the game?
I tried to play my son in this and not very good, and I'm imagining he's nowhere near these guys. So it's I might just be a generation a little bit too old to take on this game, but it's fantastic to see, and it's such a big part of life today, and competing like this, everything that's competing is great for the brain. It's great for how you feel about yourself. So it was good fun to watch.
And do you see any similarities between esports and golf?
well, there's a lot of concentration in both, and I think that's, you know, you got to commit to something, then you got to execute it. I could see the fingers start going a little bit in the end. You know, getting nervous is something you have to deal with in everything, and you got to execute. So absolutely, you know, but it's I think it's important to realize when you got stuff like this that you try and bring, you know, it has the base in the same sport in golf, and you try and bring the things together, and people that compete, you know, they're made at the highest level, are made of something special, and there's what goes on inside the head is very similar.
And we also saw F. Magnets use a calculator during the game. Now, obviously, you don't have calculators on the field in golf, but do you do all the calculating in your head?
Well, we do, but we normally have caddies to do that.
Big congratulations to F. Magnus, our very first European eTour champion.
Thanks very much.
I'm here now with our runner-up, second place. We want to chat a little bit, though, Walk of Life. Coming all the way from Canada to Made in Denmark, what has this experience meant to you?
It's been fun, meeting these guys. Yeah.
Do you want more European eTour action?
Oh, yeah.
Would this be something that you would be at regularly?
Yeah, I think, yeah. A few times a year, maybe.
I presume this is the first time you've been to Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
And have you found Denmark as well? It's a lovely place, isn't it?
Very flat.
Very flat, yeah. And friendly, very friendly people, aren't they?
People are really, really nice.
Similar to Canadians.
Similar to Canadians.
Not that good.
Chat to us a little bit about all the dinging. You've given Mark his new favorite word. So I want to find out, are you willing to teach him how to get that ding every time?
King of the ding.
I don't know if he can afford me.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know your ding stat? Like, is that something you'll look at?
60
something %. And how does that compare to the rest of the people playing?
That'd be on the high side.
Yeah. It's impressive. Like, as soon as I started noticing that was a thing,
that's when
he was
notices.
the ding king. It was impressive.
Well played, Walk of Life. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to say goodbye to you now and introduce your winner, your European eTour champion, F. Magnus.
Look what's he holding there. I think you owe me that, don't you? We had a little wager, didn't we?
I lost that to you for missing that.
Where's Thomas? He needs to present it to me.
This is ridiculous. What are you spending the money on? That's the first question we have to ask.
I don't know if my flight home's paid for, so maybe we'll go towards that.
You won't fit that
I've
in
just
your
been
bag
told by
anyway.
production you don't have to worry, they will pay for your flight home. So what are you
That's
spending
good.
the money on?
I think Mrs. Magnets would probably get half a new car or something.
I like the way this is working. She deserves half a new car. So tell us, how does it feel being the first eTour champion? And is this something that you see yourself doing more often at various
I'd
tours?
hope to, yeah. This was really good fun. It was great to meet the guys, and great to play some competitive stuff under real pressure. Good to meet all the production team, all the people
It's a great
involved with golf.
atmosphere,
It's
isn't
really
it?
good.
It's been. It's the thing I've noticed as someone who's not in this environment, more out in the golf environment, to come in and see this. The competition side's been great. You've all been getting on well, which is good. But there's still competition. I saw your discussion about the courses they might drop or choose. It was friendly, but there was strategy going on there.
John wasn't giving anything away
absolutely.
before the semi-final.
He wasn't going to let you have a free run, so that competitive edge was there. And like Thomas was saying, anything that's competitive is just, it's good for the brain, it's good for the spirit, it's great.
My question to you now, there's a lot of people that are watching that have seen this game for the first time or are avid players of it. How do they get better? How do they get to your level? If they want to be here next year to challenge you, what's your advice to them?
Well, beginners need to just start the game and level up as quickly as they can, play a lot, get their level up high so they can get decent equipment. Once you've got that, you can really start honing in on the mathematics of it. If you get your calculations right, you know, if you're fairly good at hitting the ding where you want to, then you can start hitting shots fairly close.
So those calculations, they're common knowledge, or that's what you've worked out?
I think each player has their own specific calculations. They're all vaguely similar, obviously, otherwise they get completely different results.
Close,
but generally the players work them out themselves.
Okay.
You know, just see what works, what doesn't, and just try and improve on them all the time.
And do you talk to each other about your calculations, or is that something that's in the back pocket and, like, we're friendly, but that's in my back pocket tank?
In my own country club, I'll share all the calculations with my fellow players because I want everybody in the club to improve together.
Okay. But these guys, it would be more, these are your calculations, you bring your own to the tournament kind of stuff.
Some of these guys know mine anyway, because we've been in
Okay.
the same country clubs in the past, and Simon Birchie is in the same country club now.
Yeah.
If the others want to know them, I'll tell them. I don't
Oh,
mind.
he's a nice guy, isn't he?
He is a nice guy.
Yeah.
Not only is he a nice guy, this is your first European eTour champion. $5,000 in your pocket. Thank you so much for putting on such an incredible show, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you. That
for
was
coming
a lot
here.
of fun. Well done, and
Thanks
thank
very
you.
much.
Nice to meet you guys, all of you.
I'm going to jump on a computer with Mark now and try to see if he can jam some games. From myself and the entire production crew, thank you so much for watching, and we cannot wait to see you at the next eTour.